It says we have 20 dwarves. We actually have 2 less. I think it's 20. We actually have 2 less than that. 2 of them are were creatures. One of them is in a cage, and one of them is locked in a bedroom, which means technically the fortress can't die. Which is actually a big benefit. Yeah, so we have 18 dwarves technically. So that's actually a really big benefit to us because it means that it'll be really difficult for us to completely lose the fortress. The reason I'm talking kind of doomer and gloomer about this fortress is because this is going on over here. These are all demons that are living over here in this corner of the map. They are not friendly, and they will kill you on sight, and maybe one of these guys could probably kill my whole fort, like, without even thinking about it too much. Like, this Brood of Fire could kill my whole fort. Same with one of these, you know? So, there is that. Divil Dawn, thanks for the $2.50. Appreciate you. So, that's the kind of terrifying thing that's going on the surface. However, we're slowly putting together a setup to maybe defend ourselves against this thing. I need to make some catapult parts. And I think that the hopeful outcome of this is I can train up some of my dwarves to be a little bit better at, you know, firing ballistas. And we can get to a point where I can just shoot ballista arrows, and coax baddies in through here and, maybe, just maybe, save this fort. Welcome back, Stone. So that's what we're trying to do here. As for the fort itself, the dwarves that are currently alive are, well, there's one chicken. Calcium Crypt, Dominok, Arab, and Slow Death, and Lyagushka, Red Nass, and UGDPY. And as for demons, there is, 16, 16, 17, and 41 demons. And 1 demon 22. So there's quite a lot of demons on the surface. Not that many, not an unkillable number, but there is kind of a lot. I think this fort is savable. I think I can reclaim this fort and fight back the forces of hell. But if I go to the fun tube right here and scroll up, there's a bit of a mosh pit right here, which is slightly terrifying. However, there is one benefit to this mosh pit being here. And the benefit is that they're all right here. So I'm kind of thinking about seeing if I can go up a layer or 2 and maybe, like, carve out some of this. The problem is there's going to be more demons in here, and this is all a fun tube. But the reason I want to be able to clear this out is because the adamantine starts on layer 79 and goes all the way down. Look at how much adamantine we could get. Ugh. Could get so much. Obsidian cast them? That would be really difficult to do, but possible? So, yeah, no, it's, let me redeem a dwarf and I promise I will defeat the demons. Noted. But this is a hero's journey for dwarves at this point. And yeah, no, I mean, you know what would be much more likely to succeed instead of obsidian casting them? Would be pumping, well, not obsidian casting them, but sealing them in here. Like, if I could somehow, like, seal off the entrance to here without them getting out, that I think is much more doable. Like, if I could just get lava into here and then pump water, and I don't know. The problem is these fun spires are such awkward shapes, and like, and then if I fuck it up, then there's just demons in the fort. So, yeah, I don't know. We can think about it. Could you use a cave-in to seal it? See, that's the problem, because I'd have to go above all of the entrances, right? There's an entrance here, an entrance here, an entrance here. So I'd have to cave in 3 spots, and 2 of those spots are... Okay, maybe I could cave in those 3 spots? Maybe. No, okay, so I wouldn't be able to cave in this one. I mean, this currently is sealed. The thing is, I want to be able to get underneath them. Is what I want. I want to be able to get underneath them. The other thing that we could do is we could dig in here and see if we could find water. But if I release like one angel from in here, we're all dead, right? Because I don't really have a military. I have some dwarves that are assigned to military. These aren't military dwarves, except for Slow Death. Slow Death is a military dwarf. In fact, I might actually just delete this squad and just replace it with Slow Death. But because Twitch is working today, we can do this. But I think number one priority right now is just work on the surface and work on moods. So, Montecore, what dwarf would you like? You can see almost all of them. There's just one child that doesn't fit. So just point at a dwarf and be like, I want that one. Give me a name. Which one would you like? Obviously, it can't be one that's named. Aban? That's a were creature? She's, insane? You sure? You can have her, but she's never getting let out of the cage. I'm not, no, the were creatures are my insurance. Basically meaning every single dwarf in the fort could die. Every single dwarf in the fort could die, but the were creatures will keep the fort going, basically. So I'm not going to let them die. Someone with a bit job? I mean, yes, it is a bit job, but it's a reminder for me that they've been bit. Montecore. Montecorlo. She is very curious and sometimes to her detriment. She's always tense and jittery, and she can be very happy and enthusiastic. Some migrants have arrived despite the danger. I need to pause the game, and then we're going to try and save them. She can be very happy or enthusiastic, and she prefers to present herself modestly, and she doesn't cling tightly to ideas and is open to changing her mind, and she tries to keep her things orderly. She is trusting, and she has a tendency to consider ideas and abstractions over practical applications, and she does not have a great aesthetic sensitivity. She finds obligations confining, though she is conflicted by this for more than one reason, and she does not go out of her way to help others. Something that's weird. Some migrants have arrived, not some migrants have arrived despite the danger. Oh, wait, no, it does say despite the danger. Never mind. She finds obligations confining, though she is completed by this for more than one reason. She is brave in the face of imminent danger, and she doesn't focus on material goods. She can handle stress, and she tends to avoid crowds. This dwarf would be good in the military. She winks when she's nervous, and she needs alcohol to get through the working day. She dreams of raising a family, and she personally abhors the pursuit of mastery of weapons and skill of fighting. Never mind. And she doesn't care if others take the... she doesn't care about art one way or another and doesn't really care about merrymaking. You hate everything. She likes marcasite, sterling silver, and Calero opal, donkey leather, the color sandy taupe, and the sound of the sparkles of bewilderment. And when possible, prefers to consume seahorse and foxtail mullet beer and hates snails. She is short and obese, and her hair is crinkly. Her medium-length hair is neatly combed, and her slightly sunken copper eyes have large irises, and her eyebrows are low, and her lips are thin, and her somewhat narrow ears are have small lobes, and her hair is charcoal, and her skin is ecru. Let's see where these migrants are. So they're over here again. They're usually over here. So essentially what I need to do is I need to do this. But they're never going to make it in time. Because the demons are going to come over here and kill them. Let's actually go a little further down. Go from there to there. See what priority they're digging in right now. Priority 4. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to attach some doors. The question is, can I get to these dwarves before the demons do? That is the question. What do you think, chat? Do you think we can get to these dwarves before the demons do? Because I don't expect to. No access to a door. Well, that's a knockoff. Let's get some rock doors. There's 10 of them. So Alban has turned into a were-wombat. So we're gonna try and save them. Keyword here is try. There's 2 of them here. Fisher Dwarf and an animal trainer. I would really like to keep these dwarves alive. Plus, they also usually seem to be showing up on that side of the door. On that side of the wall, so maybe there's a chance that we'll be able to save them. What are you using for mining? A bismuth bronze pick. That seems very slow. You have faith that I can get the migrants next time. I appreciate your faith. I truly do appreciate your faith. I think it may be misplaced, though. So, chat room, any plans for the weekend? What are you guys up to this weekend? Wow. I mean, if they keep mining like this, yeah, no, they're not going to have a chance. But they're also not dead yet. They're just standing here. I've been rained on. They felt empathy when discussing an acquaintance's problems. Nobody, like, no giant balls of fire have flown at them yet, so I guess that's good. Endless toddler playdates? I mean, that sounds kind of fun. Okay, Montecore, you're the one that we need mining here, because you're pretty quick. Play BG1 and go out with family. I'm impressed by anybody who's actually, like, stating that they're going to play Baldur's Gate 1 and actually doing it. Very impressed. Getting ready to go back to work after summer vacation. Boo, work. Ooh, jet. Okay, you're getting that door made. Come on, Barmrek. Your new bow out? Well, that's interesting. Somebody on the Discord has been making a bow on and off Simtexagon. Your shitbox SUV from 20 years ago is about to die and you need something fresh? Ooh. My dad is about to get rid of his current electric car to buy a different electric car. Thoughts on the new Baldur's Gate game? I've never played a Baldur's Gate and have no interest in this one, so I have no thoughts. I think if you want thoughts on Baldur's Gate, go watch a different stream. That's my thoughts on Baldur's Gate. Some fucker nicked the first one. Oh, that sucks. I'm kind of amazed that those migrants aren't dead yet. And we're up to 29. It'd be real nice if a miner would show up on the top side. Like, I wonder, if I give you miners, can you go pick up equipment? Is there one on the surface, maybe? That doesn't seem like it. Okay, can we pause those 2 jobs and maybe get somebody to come build one of these? But since it had become a money pit, you replaced it with a 2015 Chevy Sonic, but you wrecked that vehicle the day before. Ugh. I have just recently purchased the first new car you've ever bought, a 2024 Kia Seltos. I have no idea what that is, but congratulations and my condolences. Yeah, I don't own a car and will never own a car, and I'm okay with this. Life's cheaper when you don't own a car. I used to always joke about this, but it is true. I never would have made it this far in this industry if I owned a car, because I never would have made it through the first, like, 5 years of me just trying to exist. Like, pre me doing all right in this industry, because I never would have been able to afford a car. Don't. If you're ever debating with yourself about getting a car or not, don't do it. If the response is, yes, I should get a car, just immediately and there's no debate, do it. If the response is, don't do it. Just don't do it. You're 70 years old? Yeah. Still my condolences. Uh-oh. I think they found them. Well, they found somebody. Okay, so somebody wandered into the middle of the map like some idiot, like some kind of idiot. Ah. Here they come. Yep. Nope. They are killing the migrants. We're not going to be able to save them, chat. Rest in peace, migrants. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this digging right here, and the next wave of migrants, maybe we'll get them. Maybe. Feel like I need a few of these doors elsewhere. I'm gonna say there still are some alive, I think. Question is it worth the risk? Because I don't know. They would have just died in the wilderness. Or joined other factions. It's not like they'd come back. There's no reason to do that. I mean, like, yes, I could have done that, but it's not going to change anything. They're still considered death. The only difference here is I have to memorialize them. Going to go all the way up to the surface. All right, so we didn't dig all the way up to the surface, but we're one below the surface. I can put doors all the way along here. And a hatch. There goes the last two. Well, that's a shame. Took us too long to dig the tunnel. What happened? We got a migrant wave and the surface dwellers killed them. So I didn't actually lose any of my dwarves. I just lost the whole new migrant wave. And then the two that just vanished are because they're both were creatures. So once a month they stop counting as dwarves. And Dominok wants me to read the word story, so let's see if I can do that. Won't be too much for me to read, but there will be a bit. Scream Lacritus words. Hello, folks. Gratitude is a testament that we, well, tantamount? What even word is that? That we haven't tasted. So you fathom the way towards the dark depths of groceries. They live. This lives. Moribund bundles, lesser versions of vibrant Enthil colonies. Especially virulent strain of the meme, volatile indeed. Migrants regret the attempt to end all the frogs as rain is falling. All caught up. And we'll build that. Excellent. So, hopefully we'll be able to save them next time. But not this time. Yeah, no, I mean, it's these two dwarves, Alban and Arab, that become the, you know, scary ones every so often. By that, I mean the wombats. And then hopefully we can force the, you know... Let's attach this to the charcoal dinner so that they actually hang out here. Because this is, I want this to be partially my tavern. It's not a good location for it, but I need the fountain to be on them as much as possible. I also really need to get these bits and pieces of monsters out of here. Is like the garbage dump not sealed or something? Maybe I need to make a more convenient garbage dump. It's all the way up here. Yeah, it is active. They do have access to it. I think that things are just too busy in the fort for it. For them to do the dumping jobs. Oh, someone is, actually. Now that I say that. So the main issue here is things are going to take a long time. Because we've got such a small number of dwarves. And I need to train them all up as siege engineers before we can really do anything. It's very easy and informative. Hell yeah. Happy to be of service. So I think there's two things that we can work on, chat, and I guess it's kind of up to you guys. What would you guys like to see more? Would you guys prefer to watch me work towards sealing off the entrance to hell? Or work towards defending from the surface? Because we're going to need to do both, right? And I have such a small population, I can't really do both. Defending the surface? Okay. Seal the surface. Chat seems to be leaning surface, which is fine by me. Stuff's burning on the surface again. So what I need to do is I need to build some training. We need catapults. We need to learn to fire boulders. Fortunately, catapults don't friendly fire, so I can fiddle around with them quite a bit. I'm thinking we make a catapult range like in here. Surface equals migrants. This is true. Yeah, and catapults and ballistas use the same skill, which is siege operating. So we can kind of do both. But Freya caves equals fun migraine. I can't say that you know. Which one will hurt your own dwarves, catapults or ballistas? Just ballistas. Catapults do not. Catapults don't have any friendly fire. Ballistas knock down trees. Catapults don't. So once this whole thing is mined out here, I'm going to just start placing catapults. And we're just going to let them fire catapults, fire at will. Did we save our migrants? No. No, we did not. Although we should be able to save the next round, hopefully. Hopefully. Big hopefully on that. Can't say for certain one way or another. And as always, chat room, if you enjoy these streams and you want to help me out, if you happen to be in the realms of the Fediverse and Mastodon, if you could give that a repost, that would be very helpful. I do also, you know, post on certain websites owned by billionaires, but I'd rather you just support me on websites that have like actual people talking on them. Try and get some people into this bonus stream, you know? Because, you know, nobody's going to raid me, because that's just how my life works. So I got to get promotion from somewhere. We're going to slowly start building these catapults down here. So we can begin training. Because the only difference between somebody who's a high skill... Oh, actually, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't be building these up here. Maybe I should just be putting these down by my masonry tables. You know what? Actually, yeah, let's just put it by my masons stuff, because I've got these boulders right here anyway. Why don't we just go up here and deconstruct these? So I don't need as many of these anymore, because all these boulders are right here. And actually, let's just put the ballista range up here instead, because like I have the infinite stockpile for boulders right there that's just been sitting there for a while, so that's all the ammunition we're ever going to really need. So I did something very productive last night, chat. I watched I finished watching the new Eddie Burback video where he goes to every single Margaritaville in US and Canada, which was the sequel to the we went to every single rainforest cafe. And I gotta say, very entertaining. That's what the internet was meant for. Just completely useless entertainment journalism. It's what the internet was made for. Poll on what chat would like to be gifted as merch. Chat, if someone were to gift merch in chat, what piece of my merch would you have them gift? Like, if you were to pick one, what would be your favorite one? Or rather, what's just your favorite piece of merch I have on my merch store? MB Audio would like to know. Get mugged? I mean, there's lots of mugs, though. You also watch the other guy's perspective, too. Oh, man. They're in the suicide spawn. Good luck with that. They're just going to instantly die. They're right underneath the demons. Oh. Of all of the places you could have showed up, dude. That is maybe the worst one. I took the coasters off of the shop because I wasn't happy with the quality of them and they were too expensive. So no, there isn't coasters. $10 for a coaster in order for me to make a profit is just kind of fucked. Welcome to Burnvault. Now, here's your daily dose of fire. But no, I didn't watch Ted's video. I just watched Eddie Burback's video. MB Audio is gifting out a Dinner Dwarves mug to chat. exclamation point enter for a chance to win the giveaway. Congrats, by the way. That is the first piece of merch I've sold this month. It's also, I think, the first piece of merch I've sold in 2 weeks. Merch sales have basically gone down to null at this point. I think the surface is collapsing. What do you think, chat? Slight chance. So this is going to get filled up with all of the stuff. Oh, wow. We still have more coffins. And we've also got, like, those new migrants that are trying to path into the map that are just, like, constantly getting stuck. So it's, like, hurting the frames, too. If there wasn't migrants up there, it would be fine, but... Well, you can enter for a chance to win one, Gonzo, by just typing an exclamation point enter right now. You've got, like, 20 seconds, probably, at this point. There you go. Raw meat, 89.8. Congratulations. You've been mugged. Click on that link and link up your Twitch account and redeem your mug. Thank you very much, MB Audio. Am I correct in thinking that's your second thing that you've won through the merch giveaways, or am I mistaking that? Oh, now we get the Death Spiral song. Zacid. Nope, first, okay. Well, congratulations, dude. There we go, we can get Zacid memorialized here. Got a ghost once again. We're gonna have more of those, I think. Let's do some more of this. But frankly, when it comes to giveaways, like those odds for you to win are extremely good. You know, like there's only what, like 30 people at most entering in those? It's pretty high chances. Like, the odds are certainly in your favor. Thank you very much, MB Audio. Thanks for everything you've done this week. It really does mean a lot. I'm constantly just, like, scared that one of these are gonna cave in and they're gonna punch a hole in something. Yeah, you want a sticker and a mug, right, Mayagushka? Want to acquire something? How's your clothing looking?
Rock and stone.
I've never rocked a stone in my life, but how are you doing, Euthyrus? How's things, mate? You've won 3 mugs? I mean, like I said, the odds are pretty good, man. Something is collapsing on the surface, I think. It going? Good to hear. Good to hear. It really, every time I look at my following list, it feels more like I'm the only person on Twitch not streaming Baldur's Gate 3 right now. Every time I look at that, it's like, 1920 players piano. Oh, wow. Family heirloom player piano. That's kind of cool. You have to get support in now as you won't be here the next 2 weeks and you have a large event you're managing starting Monday. Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, I expect this to be my slowest month of the year, August, because traditionally June, July, August are my worst months of the year, with August being the worst. So Makes sense. I know nothing about player pianos, so those words unfortunately are lost on me, but that is cool though. We can get that set up. Where'd all the death come from? Chat, you want to give Analysis Lover the TLDR? Or TLDW, I guess. TLDR fun. Yeah, actually, that's the accurate thing to say. Yeah, creatures from above, demons from below. They all live on the surface now. Yeah, and then a snow demon got into the fort, which caused a bunch of damage. Also, the attentive in the room will notice that there is like half a forgotten beast just like sitting there, which, you know, obviously didn't help. Snow demon of death. Yes, very accurate. Did I not just... Okay, there you go. You have been put to rest. Vicod and Stackhood. Get some more of these done. Get the rest of them when ghosts appear. Say it ain't snow. There you go. I mean, G Finn and myself have great minds think alike, shall we say. Yeah, some forgotten beasts, demons, necromancer creatures on the surface making babies faster than we can kill them. I got bored and released hell, and now we're dealing with the consequences and picking up the pieces. And, you know, I'm going to try and keep this fort running because why not? It's not boring yet. It's just it's just a lot, you know. Get that done. Oh, I need 3 more parts. Catapult parts. Let's do 15. 15 parts. That'll let us make a good chunk more. I'm gonna make this look like an actual, like, firing range. You find this an exciting fort that you're learning from? I mean, it's a test. Well, currently, like, there isn't really much surviving going on right now. We're just kind of locked inside and like trying to defend ourselves. We just got meat from somewhere, and I have no idea how. I have genuinely no idea where this meat came from. Must have like somehow butchered something. Okay, let's do that. Go with some more catapults. Nope, can't do that. Okay, you're gonna move that. Then I can put a door there. This wall here is irrelevant. I don't actually need to worry about it or make like a safe firing range. I just want it to look like a firing range. Because to me, it looks cooler that way. They're just bringing all the boulders down here. This is gonna be what we're using for ammunition anyways. Random forgotten beast carcass or like random crundle carcass. Like it could have been like almost anything. I mean, I could actually just do this. And go meet. Large rat, turns out. I don't know how I have 24 meat where the game actually claims I only have 13, but large rat carcass, turns out. We also need some targets, even though I know archery targets don't work this way. These don't benefit the catapults in the slightest, but we need something to shoot the catapults at. I'm thinking targets. Just usual size, then? Because Crundles are cats? Yeah, Crundles and cats are almost completely indistinguishable. Because they're both red lowercase c's. Also, just a reminder to everybody, if you are in the Discord and you use a different username, I have no idea who you are. So, just a heads up. It is highly likely, if you are in my Discord and use a different name, I think of you as a different person. That's why you're the same everywhere. Yeah, I know for a fact that some people use different names, so. But I had someone the other day who was just kind of surprised that I didn't know who they were. It's like, well, yeah, because you use a different username. Or replace the name completely. Yeah, that also works. I mean, if you use a shortened name, then I'll know who you are. But I do know for a fact some people use completely different usernames. Once these get built, we can then start practicing. Pretty sure we should get some military training going too, but we'll just let them work on that. Also make a set of clothing for everybody, I think, pretty soon, because frankly, I think they've earned it. We've also just got so many more things to do. At least these dwarves don't feel anything after seeing a Forgotten Beast's dead body. I'm going to, real quick, make a new squad. We're going to create a new squad. Vacant militia captain's position. The creative bowls. I read that as the creative bowels. Rednass, Slow Death are going to be in this squad. And, also going to put Manticore in here. And I am going to get them training. The thing is, where am I going to get them training? I think I'm just going to get them training like right here. Maybe what we'll call it. Keep it feeling important. Because in case of times of great need, we will turn to the last stand squad. Run by Spearmasters. How many kills do you have, Slow Death? Killed a Forgotten Beast and 2 Crundles. Okay. You have to go already? Well, we'll see you when we see you, Laia. Thanks for hanging out briefly. Manticore, you are going to be removed from mining. Because you now have an adamantine spear. What creatures are on the surface? Demons, mostly. You got various different types of demons. There are snow demons that are just really strong bruisers. We got fire demons, which wander around setting things on fire and shooting balls of fire. And then there are these, like, crawling dog things that are made out of steam that aren't that scary. And a few others. I think the scariest demons I ever had in a fortress, they were steel butterflies that shot fire. We didn't kill a single one of them. They killed all of us pretty much by themselves. We are slowly cheering up this fortress. Why in the world are you using an iron battle axe when there are adamantine things available? Do I think I'm gonna make it? I mean, if I don't open the front door, yeah. Maybe. We'll see. Probably. Fingers crossed. I don't know, chat. Do you think I'm gonna make it? We will be trying to fight them. It's just a matter of getting things set up. Because we released Hell because there was 400-something Necromancer creatures on the surface. Because there was hundreds of Necromancer creatures, and then they started having babies. So there was like 400-something of them on the surface. So I released Hell as a, well, gotta get rid of them somehow. Me? Yes, this fort. Yes, it would count as a metal weapon. Adamantine is a metal. Red Nass, I think, is just picky. Means I will tell you to go equip something real. There he goes. Let's see what Red Nass gets now that I told him to go equip a spear. There we go. Now you have an adamantine spear. Look at that. See if there's any others that I could place. I mean, there definitely will be. But as ghosts pop up is when we'll do that. So you're just hanging out and slow socializing. This is technically connected to this tavern. That's fine. My mayor who's conducting meetings. Do you want anything right now, mayor? I can't export warhammers. You got it, man. There's no way in hell I will export any warhammers. You have my word. Games Workshop is safe with me. Okay, well, we've got one dwarf coming to fire catapults. Proficient siege operator, but very rusty. And then thunk. There you go. Then you're gonna go make catapult parts. Now you're gonna go load catapult and then fire catapult. What I should really do is just get all of these so that they're just prepared to fire. Well, they're making catapult parts up on the surface. Apparently we need plump helmet spawn. Oh, I need to brew some. Order mug complete. Hell yeah. Glad you got it. Enjoy the mug. It should hold hot liquids as advertised, and it is machine washable. One of my favorite comments I got about the mugs recently was, "Ooh, 2 sizes. They're both too small." Sad face. It's like, how big of a mug do you need, Merc? And yes, I'm calling you out, Merc. Why do you need such a big mug? Just fill it up twice. If you get anything bigger than like the bigger size of mug option that I have on my merch store, it'll be cold by the time you finish drinking it. Which dwarf would you like? You can literally see every single one of them. There's just 2 children down at the bottom. So which dwarf would you like? 32 ounce needs a lid. I have a 32 ounce thermos, but it needs a lid. I have virgin mug refiller. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to explain what that means in not bullshit speak. English, the siege operator, gotcha. Geotrack, the siege operator, it rarely feels discouraged. She is not inherently proud of her talents and accomplishments, and she tends to assume that the worst of 2 outcomes will be the one that comes to pass. She tends to not reveal personal information, and she dislikes that sort of concealment in the abstract, and she can occasionally lose focus on the matter at hand. She often feels lustful, and she tends to be a little wasteful when working on projects. She finds helping others to be emotionally rewarding and wishes this were not the case, as she considers altruism foolish. She does not have a great aesthetic sensitivity, and she is conflicted by this as she doesn't try to get things done perfectly. She has a calm demeanor, and she can handle stress. She's not particularly interested in what others think of her, and she occasionally overindulges, and when she's thinking, she clicks her tongue repeatedly. She needs alcohol to get through the working day and does not mind being outdoors at least for a time. She dreams of raising a family, and personally is an absolute believer in the rule of law. Sees concealment of emotions as a betrayal, and tries her best to never associate with such secretive fools. She finds a sacrifice to be the height of folly and disregards tradition, thinks friendship is important, and sees introspection as important, and dreams of raising a family. It's almost a liter, yes. My coffee maker makes a liter of coffee. Every day. By that, I mean 2 batches of coffee every day. She likes obsidian and lay pewter and 2 agate and giant hornbill leather, crossbows, and the sight of the euphoria of pantomiming, and when possible, prefers to consume pendant amaranth beer and hemp seed oil, and absolutely hates spiders. Cave spiders. Not spiders in general, just cave spiders. She is drowsy. She has no kills. And she has a thin body with little fat. Her hair is crinkly. Her medium-length hair is neatly combed. Her nose is hooked, and she has a low voice. Her eyebrows are low. Her lips are thin, and her somewhat splayed-out ears are somewhat narrow. Her head is somewhat tall, and her hair is chestnut, and her skin is brown, and her ears are emerald. All this mug talk makes you want tea? Go mug yourself. I mean, go have tea. Sips tea. But, yeah, no, I think the next time I'm going to launch merch is probably going to be in October. Because I'm looking forward to October. For a lot of reasons. You like her? Don't die. Hopefully she stays alive for a little bit. Spear Roars is a good last name for somebody firing ballista. Are you asking if I tried that? I don't particularly like stolen art. So I don't do that myself. I know many other people have. I'm much more interested when somebody like Elfie decides to draw a sketch of an approximation of one of these descriptions. More curious to see what the result would be. Generic bullshit, like all AI art. Because that's all that stuff looks like, is generic and uninteresting. Okay, so I'm going to need another set of fortifications around here, and then a drawbridge behind them. I can close this if this becomes too much. This needs a drawbridge here. Hello. Good day. How you doing, Bolax? My general rule of thumb with shitty AI art is your imagination is probably more powerful and more accurate and more unique. So if you're curious about what that stuff would look like, just use your imagination. Ghost Bat, what's up, dude? How was your stream today? I'm trying to survive the fires of hell. If you guys want more Dwarfy content, go give Ghosty a follow. Was glitchy as hell, why's that? Stuff falling over. I have a question. Would you consider yourself also a safe haven from the scourge of Baldur's Gate 3? Not Disgate 3. What? You don't own that game? Okay, so that's another safe haven for streams that will not include Baldur's Gate 3. I can confirm. That's more me than your opinion being wrong. You want to know what something looks like? Find an artist you like and pay them a small fee to get them to draw the thing. Instead of, you know, finding an artist you like and then stealing their art. You kept DCing from the internet and you gained a Necronomicon. Cool. You have a few Necro scribes in your library. Awesome. And you're waiting for them to copy your book. I mean, oh, are you going to sell it to everybody? I feel real bad because for a little bit there was this pretty neat project. It was a little project that was supposed to be a like a DF hack plugin. And the idea for it was, I can't even remember what it was called, but it was like Dwarf face generator or something. And the idea was they essentially were doing what Bay 12 are doing right now with the portraits, where they made all of these different kind of templates, I guess, for different dwarf faces. And the idea was that you would use a DF hack command to type in a dwarf's name, and then it would pop up an image of that dwarf. And they had like a little Patreon and whatnot, and I think it launched in like 2021, I think. And this was like pre-Mid-Journey, pre-Dale Mini, and all of these like kind of shit, you know, what's the word? And like before all these like kind of crappy equivalents. Are these actually like, you know, maybe I should get rid of these archery targets. I think these archery targets are destroying the boulders. Like I'm losing these boulders. I should be able to reuse them. Anyway, they made this thing, and it was supposed to be like, they had like a website and a Patreon, and they like reached out to me and offered to sponsor a video, but they didn't have much budget, and they're like, yeah, we want to promote the Patreon for this. I was like, I don't really want to promote it if that's like all you want to do is promote a Patreon, plus I don't really cover DF hack stuff anyway. So I kind of never ended up covering it, and I don't think it ever took off. But I kind of feel bad for them because they put like a lot of effort into that thing. And now just like, oh, you could just like it all had unique art and everything. Let me see if I can find it. Dwarf Fortress Face Generator DF hack. Can I find it? Because it did have Dwarf Vision. Was that the name of it? Yeah, I want to say it was called Dwarf Vision. Yeah, this is like one of the demo images that they had for Dwarf Vision. Yeah, Rust Knight, that was who was working on it. Yeah, no, it was a pretty neat little project, but I mean, that was, you know, Massive art theft image generation. Dwarf face NFT generator. I think that was the joke back then, actually. But yeah, I kind of loved the idea of it, but it just... I wonder if it's even still compatible. Or if they're still updating it. It's called Dwarf Vision. Go look it up. Repopulate the 21 necro towers with your dwarves, and your civ is practically dead. You have a kobold. You have a kobold queen? How the fuck does that happen? Or are you using some mods that would make that happen? Because, like, actually, how the fuck does that happen? How in the world? Yeah, mods? Okay, I was gonna say, like, that's, they don't speak the same language, so, like, that's not possible in vanilla. That makes it way less interesting, but... oh well. I was thinking there was some really crazy interaction that made that happen. I'm so glad it's Friday. Happy Friday. What's up, Cooler? Mug got gifted out today. It was the first piece of merch that sold in the week. Also, finally using your CUD thumbnails that you gave me. So, thank you. Speaking of artists, Cooler has drawn the majority of the emotes and art on this channel. So if you like the art on this channel, say thanks to Cooler. You get kobolds as visitors? It's pretty rare in vanilla. Because they are not what I... Okay, so guess I do need to channel this down one. Define visitor? I mean, you can... Kobolds generally try and steal stuff because they're adversarial towards dwarves by default. Wing. Let's pause these for a little bit. Kobold Fortress, new game idea. I mean, and there's a mod for that. You can just play as kobolds. I'm gonna be honest. I will never understand people's obsession with kobolds. I don't get it. Like, there are some people that are like genuine. Like, maybe it's just a furry thing. I don't know. But I will never fully understand people's obsession with kobolds. Like, they're funny, and like the lore surrounding them is amusing, but. Because they're pathological kleptomaniacs? Yeah, they're crows. Uh-oh. Well, that's a trade caravan. Or it was a trade caravan. It's not wise to trade with us right now. If that wasn't obvious, I wouldn't recommend it. Y'all just miss kobolds from WoW? I've never played WoW. I mean, it's okay. The guard dogs will kill them, but yes. Good lord. Frame rate, I hardly knew ye. Miss you long time, love. Where the hell are they going? They're going somewhere with a mission. Can't click on these. Pause. Cyst Crypt. What have you killed? A reindeer bull and a creature of candor. You hate to be visiting this place. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. Pretty hard to recommend this as a visitable location. Nope, traders cannot spawn on underground roads. Underground roads are like exclusively a adventure mode feature that serve no real purpose in fortress mode, aside from like being kind of cool. You're wondering why you're on 20 dwarves and now you realize why? Yes, well, we were up to 29 briefly and then they ate them all. Oh, they're chasing a wolf. This poor wolf. Literally that entire cloud of demons were chasing a single wolf. That is it. Oh, they'll leave through the caverns, but they can't show up through the caverns. You can have traders leave through the caverns, but they can't show up through the caverns. That's the distinction that needs to be made there. Things can leave through the caverns regardless of if there's a road. They just can't visit through the caverns. They can't arrive via the caverns. That's the difference. We're actually at 20. 2 of them are were creatures. It's going to go back up as soon as the moon stops being full. Yeah. Nope. No, they keep going swimming in my lava. They're immune to fire and immune to water. We have to kill them with cutty things. Will they leave by the via the caverns if it's closer? Yes, they will take the shortest path to the edge of the map. Okay, so they are falling down. That's good. I think. Regardless, doesn't really matter all that much if I'm losing boulders. Trying to attend a meeting. What happened to Burnvault? I'm going to stop answering this question at a point. just hang out for 10 seconds and it'll become pretty clear pretty quick. Because, like, I get this question every 90 seconds right now. Like, well, what happened to Burnvault happened, like, 3 days ago now. So... At what point do I stop answering the question? A long time ago, you discovered a dwarven road in the caverns. Have I seen one since? I've seen a handful, yeah. I don't generally settle in the middle of dwarven civs, so I don't usually settle in places where I would find them. Also, Nuzzle, I'm pretty sure you were here during, like, the Siege of Hell and everything, weren't you? Like... Are you asking that question ironically? Maybe? Okay, well, please don't ask questions ironically like that, because it's not beneficial to anybody. It's all good. Giant party of necro experiments versus a clown army. Yep. There's a short on YouTube of that. You want to see it? It's right here. Which typical short affair has way more dislikes than likes. So actually no, it's gotten better. It was like 60-40 dislikes to likes. Now it's like 70-30 likes to dislikes. It's improving slowly. Kind of wish I could tell catapults to give and take with stockpiles. Because I would tell them to only take from this one. Would speed this up a lot, but fortunately I can't do that. Go, let's get those two removed. Boom. There we go. Dwarves are learning to fire siege equipment. Mechanic has been found dead. In a tree, hey? Law lore. That one. And, Iden. There's the ghost. Drop food and boulders for them. I don't want them to go insane. They need, like, off time and downtime and, like, varying jobs. People are weirdly obsessed in Dwarf Fortress with, no, they don't. They just get experience from firing them. But people are weirdly obsessed with making their dwarves' lives a living hell for some reason. Don't get it. Okay, let's do some clothing. Got fucking tons of cloths, so let's just do cloth cap, cloth loincloth, cloth trousers, cloth tunic, no, shirt, cloth dress, cloth trousers. Don't need to make an adamantine ballista arrow. Cloth robe, cloth shoe, sock, glove. Let's make 20 of each. Hoodie Hair plays forts like this a lot, where she tries to intentionally break shit. Like, make sure that things go as horribly as possible for maximum entertainment value. That's how you make things interesting. You're working on constructing something. I'm actually curious what they're constructing currently. I'm assuming they're still working on that walkway up there, up top. Is there a deepest lore reason why the demons stop at destroying your fort instead of dooming the world? It's because every single fortress has a invisible dome on the outside of it that the dwarves can't leave and creatures inside can't leave. Unless they are from the local flora and fauna and they wander in from the outside. I don't know if that's a lore reason, but that's the reason. It's because they are physically incapable of leaving. Because they're residents. They live on the map. Same with Forgotten Beasts. They can't leave the map tile unless you open up adventure mode. And even then they just go back down into hell. Maybe they're homebodies. I don't know. Does that work with missions? Don't worry about it. Although, I don't think the physical entities technically leave in missions. They just despawn on the edge of the map and then just stand there stationary for the number of days they need, and then they come back. Roll a bunch of dice, and then walk back in. Tell you whether or not they won or not. They prefer being local monsters. I think they're just, like, homesick easy, you know? Like, they're just homebodies. There we go. We're making loincloths. So dwarves can get new clothes. Don't break the illusion. Dwarves' beards are a vital organ that can kill them with infections if they get infected. And there's no way to tend to a beard, so beard cuts are actually the most deadly thing that a dwarf can have inflicted upon them. How's that for breaking illusion? Actually, I wonder, does the Dwarf Fortress wiki page have, like, fun beard facts? Beard. Oh, the beard page hasn't been updated yet. Wow, okay, so I didn't realize how long. Okay, maybe I need to make a video on beards. The remarkably thick hairs of the male dwarf's beard are a marvel of biology. Each hair contains millions of sensory receptors of incredible diversity, including, but not limited to, hairs that gauge humidity and airflow. Hairs are highly sensitive to the presence of alcohol and air presence of bad... Okay. Yeah, maybe we need to... I need to do a paid... yeah, beard lore. Okay. Well, maybe that's next. Beards. You know, it's kind of funny. If I had less morals, I think the beard videos or the lore videos would actually be greatly improved by generating a bunch of images in Mid-Journey and using those as footage. But I refuse. I don't want to steal people's art, and I can't afford to just, like, you know, like what's the word? Commission a bunch of art for every video. Thanks for the $2. Appreciate you, mate. Other dwarf was found dead. Some migrants have arrived despite the danger. Okay, let's check. Why are they always in such inconvenient places? I'm just gonna say this once again, no. If it's AI art, I have no interest. I don't give a shit. I mean, if they've all kind of... Yeah, okay, so they seem to have gone back down to their spot. Didn't know ghosts existed? Fortunately, they don't. At least not in real life. Let's see if we can get you to come do this. Ah, no, you're gonna go drink instead. Ah. Well... The new migrants are up here, right? They're right here. There's a chance... Uh-oh. Saying there's a chance. I think they're just killing crows right now. Stupid migrants is the term I prefer. You could call them brave. Stupid migrants that are wrecking my frame rate. I wish I could cancel the load catapult job from there. You'd think it would be the sort of thing that I could be like, don't do that right now. But it looks like it's not. Yeah, it's a not cancelable job. Cancelable job. Well, I might as well just cancel all this because those migrants are dead anyway. What cats exactly do you suggest we do this with? Because there's one piece of livestock in this fort, and it's a chicken. No, I just need tunnels and drawbridges, or not tunnels and drawbridges, tunnels and trapdoors. They're all right there right now, right? What I actually need is okay, hold on. The game is just like unpleasantly laggy currently. Let's just pause. They shouldn't be digging. We'll just sit here and see if they do this. Dyer's been found dead. Okay, now they're killing them. Dear migrants, if you guys could just show up at this corner, you'd actually have a chance. True story. You would actually have a chance. Wait, did you just... Okay, I was going to say, did you cancel it? No, it's just blinking. Because this is right where they spawned the last time. Or the first time today. So I'm basically just setting this up so that we actually have a chance to, you know, maybe get some of these migrants back in. While we train them all up on siege weaponry so that we can actually open the front door and bring them in. Leave that list up. So Urist is coming to carve the ramp, so we'll follow Urist. Yeah, I think ghosts are one of those things that kind of surprise new players to Dwarf Fort. It's like if you have spent no time in Dwarf Fort and know very little about Dwarf Fortress, then yeah, ghosts are kind of scary. That'd be another fun lore vid, actually, is ghosts and the different types of ghosts. It's actually just an excuse for me to read the wiki. That's literally all those videos are. You enjoy it? Yeah, I'm sure it'll lose its shine eventually. But for right now, yeah, they're nice. Frame rate will pick up once those migrants are all dead. Yeah, like that damn ghost that kept unlocking the door. Exactly. Well, I seem to recall one of the first times I ever saw a ghost. It picked up a table, threw it at a dwarf, it sliced his stomach open, his intestines fell out, and he ran all the way across the map and died. Or all the way across my screen and died, I guess. Was literally the first time I ever saw a ghost in Dwarf Fort. Was like, well, deal with those, I guess. Also, the drilling sound is happening again today, so I don't know if you guys are hearing drilling, but it's not fun to hear. And here we go again. We get we get the death spiral music once again. Oh, that's funny. game has so much content that it doesn't tell you exists, you know? And that's part of the reason it's so much fun. The drilling, is that me with your mother? That's in very poor taste. No, they are drilling holes in the concrete in the basement of the building in the underground parking to put cables in the walls so that people can purchase their own and install electric car charging units. That's what they're drilling. Also, analysis lover. Your name's analysis lover, not an anal mum lover. Come on. Although I don't think Twitch would let you have that. Yay, they're all dead now, so the frame rate picks back up. Are constantly sawing with. This isn't like the neighbors. This is like just the building. Okay, so you do that, and I'm going to lock this. So now that this is set, I'm going to also lock that. So now if we get another migrant wave right here, we can save them. I'm also going to go back down to here. We're going to dig across the other side over here as well. So Ghost won't open one of them. I was just going to put a drawbridge in there, like right about now. But yes, I mean, I've already technically got 2 doors, but I'm going to put a drawbridge in here. Yeah, the possessed a murder and confessed the crime. I also have a short of that on my YouTube channel. It was Trans Fem's old username before they changed their name. In Long Death. And it was a body that I missed. And kind of forgot about, admittedly. Almost all your dwarfs are hollow stalkers. Oh, did you get attacked by Necromancer? Alright, well, I can turn the catapults back on. Might as well, think about maybe making a clothing stockpile. Like right down here. Not a good idea. Necromancer towers can be fun. I quite like Necromancer towers. They're really a thing that makes Dwarf Fortress exciting. The thing that I wish was different about the current version of Dwarf Fortress is when I started playing Dwarf Fortress actively, like heavily, Necromancers, you would never see them. They wouldn't migrate to your fortress. They wouldn't show up as visitors. And they were just kind of these weird luminous things in the overworld. And you would see them in the towers. And the only way you would really get Necromancers is if you raided a Necromancer tower and stole the book. And then when dwarves read it, they would just go around rezzing zombies everywhere. So there was nothing stopping them from rezzing zombies. So whenever they'd see a body, it would become a zombie. Is the way they worked when I first started playing actively and properly learning the game. The problem with this is that the result was people would just disable necromancy or just never even attack them. Just essentially they were completely an ignorable threat. When the necromancer creatures and whatnot were added and those pretty major changes were made to necromancy, the result was it went from, oh, they are just kind of a hollow threat that exists in the background that people just ignore, to Oh, they're just like migrating to your fortress now because like they're part of society in a lot of cases, which really takes the mystique of them away. And I miss that mystique. I liked when they were like, oh, they're just this weird kind of almost cosmic threat that just lived on the map in these weird towers, you know? And I hope that they get back to that point because like the fact that they show up in your tavern and migrate so easily is actually a bug. They're not supposed to do that. Hello, Martin of the Woods. Two more. Also, every single citizen in your fort is a werebeaver? How's the fort still alive? Also, did they intentionally all become Canadian, or... One of your guests was a beaver? Speaking of bugs, they're also not supposed to do that. Cog is one that I haven't done yet. They're all, where creatures are not supposed to show up as guests. Are you just playing Timberborn? I'm playing board. No, that would be Beaver Men. Would be Timberborn. You know, that actually might be a fun mod to play, or a fun mod to make. Just a Beaverman fortress, and just title the stream, I'm playing, whatever the name, Timberborn, but it's Dwarf Fortress. And then all you do is you settle on a very large river, and you build little town above ground, mostly out of wood, and you build dams. Hill dwarves, mountain dwarves, Canadian dwarves. Yeah, exactly. The perfectly normal series of things. I think Canadians drink about as much as dwarves, so seems accurate to me. Getting invited to see Deck 13's games at at Gamescom, but unfortunately I won't be going to Gamescom. I will be at PAX West, though, so if you are going to PAX West, let me know. We'll have to meet up. If you could name a fort Timberborn. Well, we know that we can name one Baldur's Gate, or Boulder Gate. Let's go... Timber. So timber isn't a word. Woodborne is. Could call it woodborne. How about lumber? Nope. Log? Nope. We could call it treeborne. Because it's an extraordinarily unfun mechanic. Murdered? Yes. Damn it. You gotta damn that damn it. Speaking of lore videos, I am quietly beginning works on a full read-along or read-through thingy of Boat Murdered. Won't be out for a long time, because there's 65 pages in that Let's Play. Safe keeps. Dwarf, you want what? Just say who you want. It's the whole list. See, vampires showing up as visitors makes sense, but were creatures are like usually naked in lore and are basically wild mad people that are enemies with every single existing faction in the world generally, meaning they wouldn't be allowed on the premises without just getting executed at the front door generally, because it's pretty clear when they are not allowed in the world. Anuel, the one making the cloak. Safe keeps. Never feels hatred towards anyone or anything. And he dislikes receiving advice, preferring to keep his own counsel. Prefers to be alone and has a sense of duty. He tends to be swayed by the emotions of others, and he doesn't mind being out wearing something special now and again. Doesn't often experience strong cravings or urges, and he is troubled by this because he values such powerful forces in life. He isn't given to flights of fancy, and he's a friendly individual. He is somewhat uncomfortable around those that appear unusual or live differently from himself. And crap, hold on a second. Ah, okay. Where are you? He doesn't mind wearing something special now and again, and doesn't often experience strong cravings or urges, and he is troubled by this because he values such powerful forces in life. He isn't given to flights of fancy, and he is a friendly individual, and he is somewhat uncomfortable around those that appear unusual or live differently from himself, and he needs alcohol to get through the working day and doesn't really care about anything anymore. Dreams of raising a family, and personally has abandoned any attempt at self-control and finds the whole concept deeply offensive. He likes porcelain and lead and rhodolite and hamster leather and llama wool and crowns and the words of the South Wanderer and the sound of the mellow saffron, and when possible prefers to consume gutter cruwer and wheat flour and absolutely hates slugs. He has what was once a thin frame, now bearing enormous thick layers of fat. He has his hair is crinkly, and his very long beard is braided. His very long sideburns are neatly combed. His very long mustache is arranged in double braids. His very long hair is tied in a ponytail, and he has a very round chin. His nose is broad, and his eyebrows are slightly low. His lips are thin. His rust eyes are slightly close set, and his burnt umber skin is slightly wrinkled, and his hair is buff with a touch of gray. And I'm gonna start placing some more of these. You'd rather be semi-safe? Nobody's really safe in this fort, but yeah, I understand the sentiment. I mean, your username checks out. Okay, we'll dig this area out down here. Start filling this up with memorials as well. Maybe the most memorials I've made in a fort in this version. All right. There we go. Let's see. Did this area up here get worked on? Nope, not at all. Bridge is still inactive. Okay. No, you just need one necromancer to make intelligent undead. Why do you think you need two? Hey, Taylor. How's things? But yeah, so the thing is, vampires are supposed to reintegrate into society after being cursed. Were creatures are supposed to be outcasts. Necromancers are supposed to be outcasts. So, like, if we want to talk about, like, lore, those are the reason. Like that's the reason why those creatures shouldn't show up as visitors, is because they're supposed to be obviously outcasts. And then things like undead should be able to show up, but they should be obvious and you should be able to catch them, because the necromancers would send them out as spies. So instead of the necromancer showing up and visiting or still being a part of the fortress, they should be disguised if they're still part, and they should be disguising their identity unless obvious, basically. Like wearing a big hood or something. Like they should look like a Jawa. Do werebeasts not wear normal clothes and appear normal when there's no full moon? They do wear normal clothes. They're not supposed to. And because they, like, if you select them, ones that have come in from other factions, it says that they are enemies of literally everybody. If they're an enemy of your faction, the faction should know the second they show up. The Forgotten Beast, Lisiva Syrian Novor. Anyway, version 47 point something is when they started showing up, and they're not supposed to, is basically the long and short of it. They are not supposed to do that. They do now, but they're not supposed to. The Forgotten Beast, Lisiva Chironomiu Vemiconibo has come. A towering eyeless shrimp. It has large mandibles, and it appears to be emaciated. Its midnight blue exoskeleton is wrinkled. Beware its webs. That's kind of scary. Well, it's going to just kill these Crundles, I think. So it's fighting with a bunch of Crundles. Looks like. It's going to kill the Crundles. Already killed 6 of them. Seriously injured, though. It may actually die to the Crundles if they get underneath it. Crundle attacks it, but it jumps away. Forgotten Beast kicks it. The Forgotten Beast bites the Crundle in the head, and the severed part sails off. Yep. That seems about right. Crundle kicks it in the left foot, bruising it. Yeah, it's not super strong. It's just got webs. Sure, but like, it's a bug. It's a known bug. The developers have called it a bug and have promised to fix it, so they're not supposed to do that. I guess it makes sense in like a world standpoint, but from a playability standpoint, it is one of the worst things in the game right now. And I hope it gets fixed. Go Crundles? Yeah. I don't think they'll win, but in fact, I'm pretty sure they're all dead. Yeah, it just lives there now. So many dwarves just loading catapults. All right. Well, let's check in on a few things. They're connected to a lever. Really don't need these to be here. Not gonna lie, I really wish this fort had like 25 more dwarves. Because then I could actually get things done in a reasonable clip. But as it sits right now, I just can't. I do very much look forward to the day where beasts operate the way they're supposed to again. It'll make playing the game a lot more pleasant. for getting some of the clothing done that I queued up. Still got more of it to do, though. I mean, we've still got stuff that needs to be thrown away that just hasn't been because, like, these dwarves have so many other tasks to do. At least we're getting, like, a few decent siege operators. I'll just have one running. Hold on a second. What did that say? The what is fighting? Naked Moldog, Giant Rat, Crundle, Serpent People. Huh. Big fish. Type of fish I've never seen before, which also has moderate blood loss. That's the plan. Ballistas, specifically. I've never seen one of these before. It's a Molly? Is that actually what they are? It's an 11-year-old Opa. I thought it said Opeth initially, and I was like, why is there a metal band in my fort? And I was perplexed for a second. I don't think it's a fish Molly. Interesting. So it's a sea fish, but it's underground? Nope, it's definitely on the surface in the ocean. Commonly known as moonfish or sunfish or kingfish or redfin ocean pan. I see. I've heard of moonfish and sunfish and kingfish, but I've never heard of opaths. Or opas? Or opas? I don't know how to say that. And they won't hit each other. Yeah, but I want to actually kill them. I don't want them to just dodge out of the way of boulders. Boulders are very ineffective and are very good at making soldiers fall off of things. Catapults are about as... Okay. Catapults are about as effective as, like, getting hit by a stonefall trap, whereas a ballista is like getting hit by 4 or 5 weapon traps at once. Ballistas are way more effective. So, yes, I could fit way more catapults, but no, I'm not going to use catapults. We're just using catapults to train them. That's it. I could also just make a siege operators guild, but I'm not super expectant of that to be for that to be effective. A one-tile hallway? It's okay. We're already working on it. I mean, we're going to do 3 tiles wide, not 1 tile wide, but thank you for your recommendation. Right in, the ghostly planter has been laid to rest. Yay, we're finally getting some of these slabs put away. Now, my biggest concern right now is just, like, keeping these dwarves sane and then trying to get some migrants in. They're trap avoid, are they not? In regards to them. I do have a web-spitting forgotten beast, so I could put a bunch of cage traps in there and try and cage trap them. But I'd need to move this forgotten beastie somewhere. I'm pretty sure that they're all just trap avoid. But because I do have a web spitter, we could try that route. I'd have to move him though, because he lives right there right now. So that's an option, I suppose. Oh, yeah, no. I'm pretty sure they're trap avoid. They also can't be crushed with drawbridges. Drawbridges do not operate if there's a demon standing on it. So you can't use them to drop them, and you cannot crush them with drawbridges. That's actually not a bad idea. Question is, what route am I going to do this? I think actually what I'm going to do is this. Okay, so I would need to dig all the way up to here, basically. Start moving up here. That we could do. Yeah, I don't know. We'll start digging this and we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Although I'm gonna need to deconstruct this. We're totally paying attention. Like 50 different things. We are. Well, the enemy have come and are laying siege to the fortress. By that I mean there are So I'm not going to be able to follow this fight in the slightest. There's necromancers. They just resurrected a bunch of skeletons. There's some humans. And look, sees demons. That's all I can really do. I think all of the oh, nope, this necromancer's still alive. Nope, this is just a corpse. Never mind. Are these demons? No, these are all skeletons. I'm also not going to be able to tell what's a demon and what is a foot. Are they just repeatedly killing something? What's happening? Yeah, that's no longer a siege. Are they fighting amongst each other? Oh, I see. That's a frozen stalker thing. So there's Taru Kalu, Kanar soldier, frozen stalker. So this is an undead necromancer creature who is now dead. And the Brood of Fire is in a tree. Well, that was a quick siege. Cool. Did any demons die? I saw 2 die, but it's really hard to tell. It's really, really hard to tell. It's all like, I give up immediately when it's demons versus necromancer creatures because they look so similar. Lanix, thank you very much for gifting a sub to Steph. 90. Welcome back, dude. Thank you very much for the funding. Last month was pretty slow in comparison to previous months, and this month ain't looking much different, so appreciate you, mate. But thanks for all the funding this week. This week's been pretty good. Ba-da-bum-bum. Everybody's just on vacation right now, and you know, it's that time of year. But admittedly, I do a terrible job keeping track of when ads pop up. I really should do a better job of it, but I don't know. Gotta support how we can, mate. Here's the thing. I could lose like 70% of my income right now and probably still survive because that's about what I had this time a year ago. But, you know, it's nice being able to actually afford to do things. Makes my general health a little bit better. Cool. Well, at least they're getting their items. Hey, Spitalier. 4 weeks of the apartment to yourself? There's more to living than surviving. Yes. Wow. I mean, I don't know. I've just survived my whole life to the point where I don't know how to live. Let's see, is there any more of these I can do? So what's your plan for those 4 weeks? Play Baldur's Gate 3, Spitalier? That's my assumption. I don't know. Play Caves of Cud? Cataclysm? Work? Two things in life are certain. Dead people and people streaming Baldur's Gate 3. That mean I'm dead? You hate Baldur's Gate? I hate Baldur's Gate. Okay, well, there you go. So what's your plans for while your wife's on vacation then? Because clearly you're doing something. Otherwise, you know, you wouldn't be staying home. CUD, 7 days to die and some CDDA. Gotcha. That's quite the threat saver. I actually haven't even looked at my Steam's friend list. I was gonna say, there's 3 people on my friends list that are currently playing Baldur's Gate. And then some, Kiri's playing Cookie Clicker. A few Deep Rock Galactics. There's some Don't Starve, some Thronefall. Being completely honest, I don't fully understand the enthusiasm around Thronefall. That game is like a 7 out of 10 to me. But people are like, oh my god, this game's amazing. I was like, really? No, Kiri's playing Cookie Clicker on my friends list. I don't think we have mutual friends on Steam. I had very few people to my Steam friends list. No, that's why I'm saying it out loud. It's like, I know Jess is playing. I mean, I played it too, but like, it was interesting for like 45 minutes. It's strange to me that like, there are all sorts of developers making really cool little games that are very cheap, that have fuckloads of depth in them and tons of replayability and like generally some pretty awesome mechanics. But that one particular studio, Grizzly Games, can make a game that has very little depth, very little replayability, and not a lot of particularly interesting mechanics. And people are just like, oh my god, it's amazing. It's like, I don't get it. We basically are just waiting on this stuff being done. Got another caravan here, and they're all dead. These are my the dwarves that are being obliterated by the caravan now. At least they have some soldiers. Good luck there. Wow, did you just kill one? Holy shit, Kulet the Swords Dwarf just got one. What a legend. You absolute fucking hero, dude. This is just a random soldier from the caravan. Brute of Fire attacks, but she jumps away. Brute of Fire attacks the Swords Dwarf, but she jumps away. The Brute of Fire gores the Swords Dwarf in the head, but the attack is deflected by the Copper Helm. Somehow, the Brute of Fire gores the Swords Dwarf in the upper arm, but the attack is deflected by the Swords Dwarf Bronze Gauntlet. Swords Dwarf blocks the fire. The Brute of Fire gores the Swords Dwarf, and the Dwarf goes, So easily broken. Begone, fear! The Swords Dwarf attacks the Brute of Fire, but she jumps away. The Swords Dwarf says, I have a part in this. This might require an answer. The Swords Dwarf slashes the beast, the Brute of Fire, in the right upper arm with her bismuth bronze short sword, and the severed part sails off in an arc. The Swords Dwarf slashes the Brute of Fire in the lower body with her bismuth bronze short sword, and the severed part sails off in an arc. So they're still alive. They killed one. This is a goddamn hero, this dwarf. Look at all that blood. They're bleeding so heavily. Leave the map, dwarf. There you go. Kulet, you are a hero. Do you think Kulet will make it? I don't think so. But I do have to say, well done, Kulet. You brave bastard. The Brutes of Fire are made of fire. So when they die, their bodies will endlessly give off steam whenever it's raining. Because their bodies are made of fire. I'm pretty sure also if their bodies get picked up and then put into a refuse stockpile, the refuse stockpile will burst into flames. We're almost done with the clothing that I'm making for the dwarves because everybody's getting a new set of clothing. Imagine if you had steam turbines. I mean, we have water wheels. It's close enough. It's one way to deal with garbage. It's a very good way to kill your dwarves, actually. I once, did I defeat a demon? No, some random trader, or a trader caravan from the mountain home showed up, and some soldier from that caravan defeated a demon. I defeated 0. Well, that's not true. I've killed a couple, but that was essentially a visitor that did that. I found to anybody here on Mastodon, I just found a good Mastodon account to follow. It's real-time chronicling of Twitter falling apart. Yeah, my meat keeps going up. I don't know where we're getting meat from. We must just be, like, butchering something. Speaking of, Brute of Fire has given birth to twins. How adorable. I think that's just called a fire spreading. Anyway, 2 more just got born, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, Dominic. Your meat keeps going up too? Well, good for you, then. You aren't sieged anymore? That's good? Yeah, but like, okay. See, there's 61 demons, 22 undead, 3 more demons, 61 more demons, 14 more demons, 13 more demons, 6 more demons, 4 more demons. Yeah, no, there's... We may not be sieged, but there's lots of demons on the surface. You only know of X? Twitter really is starting to feel like an X, isn't it? Apparently, Dwarf Fortress and Caves of Cut are both currently on sale. I'm being informed of this. Dwarf Fortress is 10% off, and I don't know what Caves of Cut is. Assuming also 10%? Ah, that's Caves of Cut sounds. Yeah, also 10%. Dwarf Fortress and Caves of Cut are both 10% off. And Jupiter Hell is 60% off. Instead of that stupid X, why haven't you uninstalled it yet? If it's part of your job, I get it, but like, there's no logical reason to have a Twitter account. Okay, let's see how many arrowheads I have. 41 steel ballista arrowheads, okay. becoming, it's a bad social media site. Especially now that you can hide your verification status, which is like the completed level of the enshittification of Twitter, in my opinion, is the point where, oh, now you can hide whether or not you're verified. Congratulations, this website is now completely useless. It went from just being a bad website to being utterly fucking useless. I can still hear Morgan meowing. Just the name of the cat who's meowing. And, any great loots expected from demons? I think they're butcherable, but that's about it. They're not really a thing that you get loot from. They don't drop weapons or anything. Angels is where you get weapons and whatnot. So no, not really. Just body parts. Would I have said that angels are where you get the good loot if there wasn't angels in Dwarfort? It's kind of a jokey question, but like, would I have said that if there wasn't angels in Dwarfort? Because angels are where you get the good loot. They're the ones that drop gear. And yes, there are angels in Dwarfort. This is the angel section of the wiki, which says article contains massive spoilers. Angels are randomly generated at World Gen with appearance and arms and armor and even material determined by spheres of their creator. The term angel is used loosely. After all, they are.
Annoying to set up, though. Goddamn.
I know I have Prime. I hope it helps. I didn't think it would be that. Wait, how do you set it up? I remember it being pretty painless. But yeah, literally, they're just like god soldiers. I could do a lore video on angels at some point. Should do a lore video on angels and a lore video on demons, and I really need to make a spreadsheet to keep track of what I've made and what I haven't made. Bars. Copper. Let's do copper cage traps 200. Copper cage. Let's just do 100 of those. Nope, that's not how they work. If you want to go figure out where they show up and where they live, okay, so you know how there's Forgotten Beasts in Dwarf Fortress, I assume? There's also Titans. Titans are just Forgotten Beasts that are on the surface. That's kind of how angels and demons work in... they work very similarly to Titans in that way. Whereas Titans are like surface Forgotten Beasts. Angels are like surface demons, basically. Except they wield gear instead of, like, just being dudes and creatures. It's not good when you've forgotten all your passwords for everything. Oh, no. Allow me to recommend you get a password manager. But thank you very much for the Prime. Seriously, for the second month of subscription. You just have to click the button once a month, and it means that I get... well, these guys are going to die like immediately. Bye! Good luck to you. They showed up in the bad spot again. Show up by my little trapdoor and you won't die instantly. How's the stream going? Eh, fine. A little slow, but fine. Involved another password reset. Well, at least now you know your passwords, I hope. Root of brine, what are you? Very large dung beetle, composed of salt. Broad shell and it undulates rhythmically. Ew. Gross. The stream's all right. Ranging cave and yourself? Keep up the good work, though. You should do for at least the next. You should do for the next 2 hours. Well, it's nice that people subscribe. Means a lot. I mean, if you want to know how helpful the Prime sub is, it's about $2.50 that I get, depending on your region. If you live in USA, Canada, or Europe, I get about $2.50 from that. So it does go a rather long way, even though it might sound like a small amount. Escalated a bit, and you ate and drank for about 7 hours? Yeah, that's a bit more than a lunch. It was more for Prime? Nope. Tier 1 subscriptions, I get 50%. Tier 2 subscriptions, I get 60%. And Tier 3 subscriptions, I get 70%. But with the 350 thing, once that rolls, assuming I get, 350 paying subscribers this month and next month, so August and September, then in October, then I will get 70% on all 3 tiers, including on gift subs, but primes are still going to stay 50-50 because primes are their own thing. They are like a contract with Amazon, not something that Twitch has control over. And I'm pretty sure if Amazon had their way, they would just stop doing Twitch primes. So from what I've heard from people at Twitch, they kind of have to beg to keep it. So... or have had to beg to keep it a couple of times. But also, like, depending on the region, like, there was one time...
They can't stop me from using my Prime sub.
I think it's, what's the word? Russia? Back when they had Prime. I only got, I think it was about 90 cents for one of those subs. So it depends on the region. ASIN64, thank you very much for the 5th month with Prime. You're right. They can't. Yeah, then it's about $2.50. US dollars. So about $3.50 for me. Because I'm in Canada. And my Canadian pesos are very valuable. Yeah, no. I mean, you're in a high value country for stuff costing. No first and no duck for you. No. Those were redeemed a while ago. I think Stone got first today, eh? XXX vote Gremlin XXX. I love how, like, you just have the generic X font. Well done. You got one more dwarf to memorialize. Do currently have a new arrival who's about to die. There you go. And just like that, so I guess you have to lose 30% of your dwarves to get the death spiral music. That's certainly starting to seem like what it is. It's also on sale right now, Jupiter Hell. I'm real tempted to stream some Jupiter Hell tonight. But I don't know if I will. 60-40 on whether or not I do. What? L-O-R-Zat. And Cog Olon. 10% more off if you already own Dwarf Fortress? Yes. I still think it's funny that Epion was in here yesterday talking about how he needs to get a bundle with Dwarf Fortress. He's like, I need to talk to Tarn about doing a bundle with Dwarf Fortress yesterday. And then today there's a bundle. It's like, I guarantee you that was already something that was happening. Just wasn't allowed to say anything. All right, let's see if I... Okay, where's this digging at? They're probably going to hit water. I had to bet, but they haven't yet. Well, they are moving up still slowly, I assume. Okay, you are built. I will go to here. Link you up to that. These dwarves are a lot of them are doing this stuff all the way along here. Knowing you're never going to play it. I mean, it's a cool developer who hangs out in the chat. It's also moddable now, so you could make a playable gremlin. That's like the coolest part about the most recent Jupiter Hell patch is that it's now moddable. Without sacrificing a dwarf? Very carefully. I mean, I have doors, so just don't unlock the door. But very carefully is the actual answer. Why is that? Why do you scram? Rock cat. Well, seems like things are collapsing on the surface once again. You're having troubles wrapping your head around time. I wouldn't recommend wrapping your head around anything. The only thing I would recommend wrapping your head in is like, you know, a blanket or a nice cool cloth or something comfy. I wouldn't recommend wrapping your head around literally anything ever. There's just no reason to. There we go. That's what I needed to do. If anything, that sounds kind of headache-inducing. We're about to get hit by ads, by the way. There's also a ghost, apparently. Hogsack. Do that next. Say that you are indeed wrapping your head around time. Seems like a bad thing. I don't know. I don't generally have issues comprehending time. Time is dull and unfair mistress, but not the worst. Got a few dwarves that are all adequate siege operators now. Getting there. Yeah, but all of those things that you just said that are worse than time require time to exist. No, I'm in ads. So, I don't know if they necessarily can be worse because they require time. Without time, you can't have any of those things. No, minecarts wouldn't really inflict much damage. You guys are way too optimistic. I mean, like, minecart shotguns, maybe, but I don't have enough dwarves to do that in a time. Like, we would be sitting here for like 2 years in game time just to load up one minecart efficiently. Napalm sideburns, what kind of dwarf would you like? Here, I'll give you the list. With so few dwarves, like, it's really not reasonable to do stuff like that. So, no. Unfortunately. Send you back into misery, you'll take any beard. Okay. We're very short on beards, mate. Here, you can be Kib. Napalm sideburns is shameless and absolutely unfazed by the thoughts of others. He enjoys being in crowds and he is prone to hatreds and often develops negative feelings. He seeks out exciting and adventurous situations and rarely feels discouraged, and he tends to think before acting and tends to not be swayed by emotional appeals. He likes to take it easy and he tends to hang on to grievances. He is somewhat fearful in the face of imminent danger. He generally acts with a narrow focus on the current activity, and he has a greedy streak, and he is stubborn, and he occasionally overindulges. And he needs alcohol to get through the working day and does not mind being outdoors at least for a time, and doesn't really care about anything anymore. Yeah, no, getting the population numbers back up is like priority number one. Because like we're just not going to be able to do anything without getting the population numbers back up, right? So right now I have 18 dwarves and 2 of them are incapable of working because they're children, right? So if we're talking about like filling up, if we're talking about like, you know, building a minecart shotgun with 200 dwarves, it takes like 3 months to load one. There's sure to be offspring. That's not a quick solution. It takes 18 years for them to be usable. So no, not really a solution, that. I mean, of course I could cheat with DF hack, but that's not what I mean. Currently, we're just making ballista arrows. We're not going to use minecarts, sir, man. We're just going to use ballistas. So the dwarves can try to fight back. I think if I make a method of getting stuff onto the surface, you know what's going to happen? Instantly there will be demons in my fortress, and then we'll all die. So, your optimism is misplaced. And the problem is you play an MMO, and the problem can be solved by simply no longer playing MMOs. That's the problem that can be solved. I don't like MMOs. They just make me hate video games. What MMO, though, if I can ask? Guild Wars 2? Yeah, sure. A. You spelled A wrong, Ermagez. A is spelt this way. Am I a fan of Skyrim? No. Not in the slightest. Probably the least annoying MMO? I don't think that exists. All MMOs are annoying. I refuse to believe otherwise. Why no Skyrim? Because that video game is bad? It's just not a good game? You asked me if I'm a fan of Skyrim, and I said no. Can you take no for an answer? Could be worse, could be Worm. I know some people that are die-hard Worm Online fans. Morrowind isn't Skyrim. I don't know if I would enjoy Morrowind these days. I remember liking it way back. But I don't know if I would like it now. You just wanted to know details? Skyrim is a bad game. It doesn't have dragons, actually. It has wyverns. There isn't a single dragon in Skyrim. Dragons have 4 legs and 2 wings. Wyverns have 2 legs and 2 wings with little bat hands. Those dragons all have little bat hands. So there's wyverns in Skyrim, no dragons. It's not my fault that they got their species wrong. It was just for fucking ever to, it just takes for fucking ever to do anything. Like, you're at a maple tree farm, you have to plant at a specific month to get syrup or you're screwed. Yep. Mm-hmm. No, I don't like Bethesda games. I've never actually enjoyed a Bethesda game that I've played. I remember liking Morrowind, but I never owned it, so I never finished it. I didn't like Fallout 3, never finished it. Didn't play Fallout 4 because it looked like a worse Fallout 3. Never played Vegas because it was too buggy. Although that's not technically a Bethesda game, that's an Obsidian game, so the writing's probably a lot better, but mechanically, Oblivion was bland and uninteresting. I never finished it. Skyrim was worse than Oblivion, bland and uninteresting with boring mechanics. Required mods to make like the UI usable on PC. And I played it for like 90 hours and swore I would never play it again. And the last time I launched Skyrim was Skyrim. Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim. August 6th, 2012. I played for about 90 hours, then my older sister put in some more time on my account. So, although that might have actually been my older sister on my account, that might not have been me on August 6th, 2012. Buy EA coins? EA doesn't have anything to do with Bethesda, though. That was in an era of my life where I played the games I had, and that was like one of 5 games I had at the time. Skyrim came out 11/11/11. How can you forget that? They literally released it on 11/11/11. The 11th day, the 11th month of 2011. I don't think they released it at 11 p.m. though. Yeah, no, it's a pretty fucking bad game. Are you starting the Dwarven Dragon discussion? It's not a discussion. There are no dragons in Skyrim. Creation Club credits. There you go. Did they actually re-implement that? I don't know. Just don't remember why. It had something to do with the lore or some bullshit. But yeah, no, I mean, what's it called? Starfield was supposed to release on 11/11/22, but that didn't happen. For Starfield, but we all know that that hasn't happened. Is 2300? Yeah, but that's the wrong way to look at time. The military looks at time on the 24-hour clock, which means it's the wrong clock to use. Anything the military does is by default bad, and we shouldn't do it. Hey now? What? You heard me. Just because there's many people who unfortunately work in the military doesn't mean it's something that we should strive to be like. Although, actually, I associate the 24-hour clock with my old job, so... because it was a 24-hour clock that we used there, and I hated that job, so... It's normal in Germany? Mm-hmm. I don't live in Germany. "24-hour time is nice." That's fine. You can disagree. I'm the one with the microphone. So I can just choose not to read what you're typing. And my opinion remains correct. Doesn't mean they own it? Yeah, sure. The only time you see it here is in crappy chain restaurants and cadets. So... Also, I'm mostly just being a douche, so don't mind me. I'm mostly just cranky because somebody asked me if I like Skyrim. To be completely honest. It's a garbage game. That game makes me retroactively mad. I don't know why. It just does. Blind went Karen. Call me a Karen and I will time you out for 24 hours and then you can comprehend that time. Well, I mean, a Karen is somebody who is mean to employees and asks to see a manager, even though they don't realize that they're the one being the asshole. I am extremely nice to service workers. as somebody who worked in the service industry for the better part of a decade, I am one of the nicest people you'll ever encounter. Like, you could, like, give me abject bad service, and I will still be nice to you. Because I understand that working in that industry is a nightmare fuck world that sucks. That destroys lives and kills people. Because people are treated like shit constantly in that industry. And I'm out of coffee. I need more coffee. Maybe that's why I'm cranky. You know, countries in the world should get rid of mandatory military service and we should have mandatory food service. Because unlike the military, it's actually a necessary thing to have in society and people need to realize how fucked it is. But, you know. Like I said, I'm also sitting here and still bullshitting. Please don't take me 100% seriously. I'm just wishing I had more coffee in my system right now. That has access to your food. There's a lot of entitled fuckwads out there. Ditto on the coffee? Yep. You're enjoying the flak flying around. There's a point of, like, general grumpiness, Vidian, where I just start throwing poop in just random directions. You like cappuccino? That's just coffee with foam in it. I like coffee. I don't need to put things in my... Okay, if you're getting a cappuccino and it's sweet by default, that's not a cappuccino. Cappuccino has no sugar in it. Cappuccino has foamed milk and espresso. That's a cappuccino. You could get, like, a macchiato, which has sugar in it. But a cappuccino has no sugar in it. You put 3 cubes of sugar, then it's not a cappuccino. Why are you rimming the sky? I mean, sheesh. You cannot drink coffee? It's probably for the best. Disgusting drink. Bad habit. Don't throw poop. It's smelly. It's fine. Coffee is life. My mental health professional that I've been seeing has recommended I drink half-calf coffee. So, I'm sure that's helping my mood. You love the dichotomy of Twitch. You're all discussing coffee, but it's 9 p.m. So I'm on the beers. Hey, I'll get there eventually. When it's 9 p.m. here, I'll have a beer in my hand. Don't worry. Just drink twice as much. It's definitely not what I'm doing, but the temptation is there. You would rather work as a plumber's helper and shovel human excrement than work in hospitality again? See, and that is why we need mandatory food service. This is why we need mandatory hospitality time. But no, now people just like... Okay, so apologies for anybody who's like easily annoyed by COVID bullshit. There's a screenshot going around of a Facebook conversation, which you know this is already bad, where this was very recent. This was like a couple weeks ago. I got picked up by some pretty major news sources too, so it's real. Guy has wife gets sick, takes wife to hospital. Hospital tells guy that wife is sick with COVID. Wife dies. Doctor tells guy if she'd been vaccinated, she wouldn't have died. Guy blames doctor for murdering wife. That's the level of stupid we're at. It's like, you murdered my wife. COVID doesn't exist. It's like... Excuse me while I put my forehead through a window. Assume this happened in U.S., Florida. Ryo Shinkat, what kind of Dwarf do you want? That's the list. It's literally all of them. Well, because the two were creatures are were creatures right now. Classic Florida. We need a Discord word story palette cleanse after that? I mean... Oh, wait, never mind. That's not a dwarf. That's a word story. You are correct. Durr. I just saw the thing go by and assumed it was a derf. Hold up. I'm scrolling up. Falling down babies, rabies in shallow tallow, to prevent rabies, babies prevailing winds. That's hard to say. In caves of Cud, we can look at computer-generated art of Blind IRL talented streamer running Dwarf Fortress, trying to save Cud again by hook and duck feather hat look. What? Let the story flow as water flows. This is the Sparta way. Tubular trebuchets are big siege weapons. Pumpkins carved into helmets are legendary that laugh maniacally. They protect the melons from hammers by absorbing Gallagher, and therefore Trebuchet launches pumpkin helmets towards the anti-clockwise semicircular spheres of gold, perhaps troubling me. Caught up. Keep making DF tuts, y'all be DF infamous. I'm not gonna lie, that sentence made no sense to me, but yes, I will keep making tutorials from time to time. Okay. Focus on a work for a little bit. Well, best of luck with that work. Hopefully it's not too grueling. Well, I mean, I commented on the poor structure of the sentence, but, like, I got the gist of it. I mean, Diamond Destruct is here. I'm totally used to, like, deciphering incoherent bullshit. Lurk, me also lurking, trying to get sober. Chat flow makes me dizzy. Oh, no. At least it's not, like, a crazy big chat. If we had 2,000 people, you'd be on the floor. Hello, middle management. How do things be? Yeah, but it's nice having well-written sentences because it makes me feel like I'm not reading something written by a childish numbskull. Diamond is feeling hurt after receiving a beatdown from the streamer. Yes. You're grumpy after dealing with idiots? Word! I'm okay. Stream's been fine. Trying to train my dwarves a little bit on siege weaponry. Well, I mean, if you want to be aggro about it, that's not going to end well for anybody, is it? Ermagaz. Indoor catapult range. Gotta train the siege weaponry somehow. But you put in 0 effort and leave it up to you? Well, I don't know really what you want me to say in response. So, I won't say anything to you. Sometimes you fail at your goals, apropos of nothing. I've failed at many things in my life. Generally, I think I fail at more things than I succeed at. Like thematically? Kedranos? Probably maces. Maces are pretty cool. Being empty the cage, the gremlins are at it again. I think that Necromancer stealthed onto the map. You're off work now, but you have to go to work now. That sucks. Like, everything about that sucks. Fire is fighting. I love how they damage themselves by getting caught in their own steam clouds. That's kind of funny. At least we're able to slowly get things built. I like this dwarf. Wants to eat a good meal, make romance, socialize, find excitement, fight, and cause trouble. What a fun dwarf. Taurus, what up? You'd be a happy dwarf? Go into advanced world gen and turn up volcano spawn rate by like 1. Because yeah, they do tend to do that. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Kedranos. I haven't made food in several years in this fort. In fact, I'm pretty sure the one cook I had actually died. We haven't made meals since the, like, massive death apocalypse. I mean, all of the food that we have in the fort right now is basically pleb helmets. I just haven't been bothering because, like, I've got so few dwarves. I need them to actually be building stuff and, you know, putting things away and building these doors and doing things that I actually need them to be doing. Forging cages and all that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really the person to ask about advanced world gen stuff, Taurus. I'm making airlocks? Sort of. I'm trying to get, like, migrants into the fort. Is what I'm trying to do, but turns out that's not an easy feat. Currently, the goal for Burnvault is just don't die. Fight the demons. You made it there eventually, though, and that's what matters. Ace. If you don't die, you live longer? Really? Wild. Had no idea. I'll keep that in mind for future reference. Weather is cleared. Fighting, or it was fighting with a zombie, which it killed. And all the burning happens again. Yeah, I think they did collide with some... I think we did just get stealth sieged or something, because there's a bunch of bodies that weren't here previously. Not entirely sure where they came from, to be honest. What's up, fam? What happened when you were gone for 3 hours? I have no idea. It's caught fire fast. Yeah, because this creature's made of fire. Not the first time it's happened. It's like the 45th time it's happened. But not much has happened. A lot of migrants died. Still slowly trying to build stuff, which is taking forever. I have so few dwarves. That didn't happen in the last 3 hours, Sniper. That happened yesterday. Three hours passed, yeah. Mm-hmm. Ow, my head. And I also have an eyelash in my eye. Man, today is not my day. Ow. Are there alerts for stealth people dying? Somebody is fighting. And I did see somebody is fighting a couple of times. But no, the alerts are something is collapsing on the surface. Yep. Currently, the demons are mostly fighting with birds. They won't be for much longer. Aceman64. Or Ace N64, I can speak. But they won't be for much longer, that's for sure. Yeah, they came this past fall. Yeah, and they all got obliterated. Same with the humans and the elves. All came to trade. They all got, you know, turned into charcoal, pretty much. Is Chef M alive? No. No, Chef M is not alive. Vast majority of the dwarves are dead. The current living dwarves are Calcium Crypt, Dominok, Slow Death, Geotrack, Lyagushka, Montecore, Napalm Sideburns, Red Nass, Safe Keeps, who's been renamed, and UGDPY. Our ravens are fighting. Slow process continues. Is anybody digging currently? Nope. So it's because we're too busy just assembling stuff. Not entirely sure why I'm being added into a clip on a community Discord. I agree with Silvershe that this is the best title I've ever seen for a book in CUD. His haters cannot injure him. A book about getting a thick skin. About 160, I think, was about the peak that we were at. This fort always had trouble maintaining population because I've made it so intentionally dangerous. I still think my favorite series of books that I ever got in Dwarf Fortress was I had a dwarf write Pulleys, the Future, or Pulleys and the Future, I think. And then somebody else wrote a book called Pulleys, Disastrous Folly. And then the first person wrote another book called Pulleys, Wizard's Guide, followed by Pulleys, the end of our universe. It was like this passive-aggressive argument back and forth about whether or not pulleys are the future or if they're going to destroy society, which is very funny to me. Then they wrote some other books about pulleys, but they stopped being so passive-aggressive. Police. You know, I've heard the word Police Academy before. No idea what Police Academy actually is. Is it a TV show? Like, I think it is. I don't know. But weights are held up by the great police. Allegedly. Are there movies? There are a series of movies? Okay, because I know absolutely nothing about them. I've heard people reference them many, many times. I don't think I've ever even seen, like, a box case for one. They're fighting with ravens again? Let's just pause this catapult. I need all of the dwarf power I can get. At least nobody's tantruming. That part's good. Propaganda's bad. Cops are necessary, man. Whether you like it or not. We need them in society. Unless you want to live in a different society, which I'm here for, but that doesn't exist currently. Besides, seeing a cop telling a lady to grow up and get the fuck out of here or get in the back of my car is still maybe one of my favorite moments of the year, so. At least for me. I wish I caught that on film. So fucking funny. Forgotten Beast, Lane Sasimo has come. I'll roll over the story again real quick, and then we'll look at this Forgotten Beast. TLDR, last Friday at about 11 o'clock at night, 4 police vehicles drove into the side parking lot for my building. 5 more pulled up out front and 2 more pulled into the other parking lot. They all got out holding machine guns, walked up and held point at every single door in the building, asked me and my 2 neighbors who were outside with beer and weed where all the doors are. We told them where all the doors are, and they asked us politely to stand back and called the dog that I was babysitting at the time cute. We backed up, and they were blocking the underground parking for the building next door, and a lady pulled in an SUV and started cursing at them through her window, calling them fucking pigs and telling them that they need to not block the fucking driveway. And this cop with the machine gun in his hand walks down the stairway and tells her to he says, and I quote, "Are you fucking kidding me? Grow up, lady. Either get out of your car and get into the back of my car or drive away." So she continued cursing at them for another couple minutes and then eventually drove away. Then they hung around the building. Then they all entered the building. And we just kind of stood around outside for a little bit. And about 5 minutes later, they all walked out and said the guy they were looking for wasn't in the building. And then every single one of them gave my dog a pet, which was very funny. So about 5 very heavily armed police officers all bent over and patted the dog. Oh, yeah. And also before they went over to the doors, they asked us to get up and move, right? So we all got up and moved, and I grabbed my joint and my beer and started walking away. And me and my 2 neighbors, you see, I don't know shit about guns because I'm Canadian, so they were very large guns. Me and my two neighbors started walking away, and my one neighbor forgot his beer and his weed and asked one of the officers, "Hey, could you pass me my beer?" And she goes over and picks up his beer, his pack of cigarettes, and his joint and his lighter and hands it all to him. So yes, very entertaining evening. Anyways, let's check out this Forgotten Beast. It's right here. It's very far away from us, so we're safe from it. I might fight with another one, though. I'm not sure what else is in this area. You'd have been soiling ourselves? I mean, we just kind of sat maybe 10 feet away. Oh, wow, there's 2 dead ones down there. But as somebody who knows fuck all about guns and doesn't give a shit, they were very large guns. Okay, well, you're immediately trying to figure out what type of gun it is, which is very American of you. And as a Canadian, I don't care. It was a big gun. It's enough for me. What breed of dog was it? Miniature poodle? Yeah, it's stuck. I don't think there's anything else there. Here, hold on. I'll show you a picture of her. I was pet sitting for a week last week. But she is... I just have to scroll up. Scroll up. That's her. That's Holly. This doggy. I was also babysitting this very, very senile cat, but that little thing. Yes, weed's been legal in Canada since 2019. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to talk about the fact that I smoke weed on Twitch. Yeah, no, she's a what's called a medium poodle, which isn't a standard poodle. It's a cross between a toy and a standard. We had a standard growing up as well, or I had a standard growing up, I guess. My parents had one while I was growing up. Very large black dog, lovely animal. Colorado was ahead of Canada for legalization, yeah. Well, I mean, it's because the U.S. isn't a country. It's 52 countries in a trench coat, masquerading as a country. Which is why the law is so incoherent. But it's taking 10,000 years to get anything done in this fucking fort. 50? Eh. However many states there are. I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure that, like, there's 52, but whatever. Number of USA states. 50, yeah, you're right. Okay. I always count Guam and Puerto Rico in my brain, but poor Guam. How come DC isn't a state? Genuine question. I thought DC was a state. "50 states in a trench coat and then 2 outside." Okay, so 50 states in a trench coat and then 2 in their pocket. Got it. It's just a town mostly. It's like the Vatican, innit? Guam will never. Guam is like a territory, isn't it? Technically. Those are territories. Okay, well. At least they're territories and not territories. Those are mostly British. DC is a District of Columbia. Okay. I'd prefer it to be a District of Colombo. That would be much more entertaining. Without any of the representation. That sucks. That's all I can say to that. That sucks. Yeah, my older sister's husband, so my brother-in-law, I guess, was stationed in Guam for like 3 years or something. You see, alternate current gets all the representation, but direct current gets none of it. It's really sad, you think about it. I don't know if my jokes are landing today or if I just seem grumpy. Taxation without representation comes from? It's like getting taxed but not getting healthcare. Like everybody in the States. If I set this to fire at will, I'm just gonna let somebody fire this. Do the demons go away eventually? Nope. If I shoot them with bullets, they would. Or arrows, or ballista arrows, or crush them, or stab them with swords. But unfortunately, we don't have access to a Doom guy, so we're a little SOL in that regard. If you're American, fam, I would assume that the closest you've been to a gun is a proximity that you wouldn't know because they're concealed carrying. Anyway, which dwarf would you like? That's all that we got. So, pick a pick. Doc Fem? Which one do you want? Just tell me which name. Like Rovod, I would assume? Sorry, out of luck? I mean, it could mean that. I will just never give you a dwarf ever, Ermagaz. So no. No vodka. I mean, if you want a dwarf with a 9mm, that doesn't exist in this video game, so that's just not possible. She never feels discouraged and disdains even the best advice of associates and family, relying strictly on her own counsel. Seems about right. Tends to make a small mess with her own possessions and does not go out of her way to help others. That's weird, you're a doctor. But the mods? If you just continue being the most annoying person in Twitch chat, you're just gonna keep getting the most annoyed responses. I'm trying to be diplomatic here. She tends to make a small mess with her own possessions and does not go out of her way to help others, and sometimes can act without deliberation and is not inherently proud of her talents and accomplishments, and she finds obligations confining, though she is conflicted by this for more than one reason, and she likes to keep things practical without delving too deeply into the abstract and doesn't seek out excitement and is somewhat uncomfortable around those who appear unusual or live differently from herself, and she tends to hang on to grievances, and she tends to form only, tends to hang on to grievances. I was reading that sentence the second time. And she's not particularly interested in what others think of her and needs alcohol to get through the working day. She dreams of mastering a skill and personally believes that perseverance is one of the greatest qualities that somebody can have and dislikes cooperation and finds the idea of independence and freedom somewhat foolish and does not care about family one way or another. I mean, the mods could time you out. That's what mods do, right? She likes ash glaze, bronze, yellow, glossier, and clear glass, and llama wool, and the color violet. High boots and turkeys for their gobble, and cod for their fins. Interesting. And the words of the South Wanderer and the sound of the sprinkles of bewilderment, and when possible prefers to consume guppy and yak cheese and pineapple wine and absolutely hates leeches. Was you annoying? That's a good question, but you are being annoying. Because you're asking things that I can't do, and then just redoubling down on it, and it's just like, well, I can't do that because that's not a thing in the game, and then you double down, and it's like, can we just not do that? I'm trying to be diplomatic and asking you nicely to not overly obsess over one of my least favorite things in existence, which are guns. I'm trying to do that without directly stating it, and it's not working clearly, so stop talking about fucking guns. Christ almighty. I get it, you're American. Move on. She is corpulent and, or have a very American head at the very least. She is corpulent and her somewhat broad head is extremely tall. Her very short hair is neatly combed and her eyebrows are slightly low and her hair is flax and her skin is cinnamon and her eyes are brass. Who actually likes leeches? There was a YouTuber I used to watch named Post10 who would make videos of like cleaning drains. Randomly uploaded a video of him feeding his 5 pet leeches, and I unsubbed and never went back. Okay, well, please stop the gun talk. That's it. She looks nothing like you? Well, then you won't be super attached when she keels over randomly. Yes, this fort used to have hundreds of dwarves, and then we got sieged by necromancers and 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 necromancers. And I got so annoyed with the 400 plus necromancer experiments that were on the surface that kept having triplets, I released Hell, which was fine. Aside from then one of the demons got into the fort. Then we went from having 140 dwarves to having 20. No, you don't need to tell people to stop talking, Truman. They can keep talking. I just don't want to hear about guns. That's all. And if you keep like making references to guns, I'm gonna slowly get more and more and more annoyed with you. Because I really hate guns. It's just the way I am. Fort is growing. I mean, I don't know about that. Only one demon did that? Yep. They killed all 40 of my soldiers who had adamantine weapons. Where do I stand on crossbows? They don't work in the current version. They're great otherwise. I wish they worked. If they worked, I'd use them. They worked in version 47. There's nowhere to stand on them. Crossbows are awful melee weapons. Yeah, that's how that is how I feel about them. They're awful melee weapons. So are babies. Yes, babies are also melee weapons. This is true. Okay, well that is working. It's just not going too far. To remind them that bows are not melee weapons. So in older versions of the game, so version like 50, like before version 50, you couldn't equip bows on dwarves. Bow dwarves didn't exist, really. They were a like human and elvish and goblin weapon, so dwarves wouldn't use them. So you could only use crossbows. Plus, then there was a button in the old military screen which allowed you to select what type of ammo to tell them to equip. So you could be very specific, and they used to work. You still had to do the, like, I'm going to force you to stand behind, what's it called? Fortifications and lock them in during sieges so that they wouldn't, like, just go run out of arrows or bolts and then just, like, beat the crap out of whatever was in front of them, which is what they used to do. Anyway, but it was much easier to make them work in the older versions. They were just fucky, but you could make them work. And now that there's multiple types of ammo, the second you get arrows and bolts on your map at the same time, they just cease working. And there's literally nothing you can do about it. They just stop working. So my take on them is just like it's not worth the hassle until they fix the AI for it, which is something that they're working on, but haven't gotten to yet. Yeah, I did, in fact, get an adamantine artifact Warhammer once. I got an artifact gold mace in the last fort. That was pretty cool. Would love a lore story about a mother dwarf carrying 4 baby biter babies, carrying 4 legendary biter babies, and use them to kill an enemy in battle. Yeah, but has that happened? Also, how could she carry 4? She can only have a child every 9 months. And after 1 year, the babies start walking. So the maximum possible babies a mother dwarf could carry is 2. Yeah, I had a hell of a time keeping the captain of the guard wielding it. That was the machine waters, right? I think it's actually like 1 on each shoulder, but you know. We need the dwarf twins fix. I think it's only 1 in 500 babies are twins. I once got triplets. Once. Happened once. You need a dwarf octomon? I don't think that's possible. I think they can have quads. But I've personally never seen it. I'm really, really hoping that we get a migrant wave in spring. Theoretically, we should. But we'll see. featherwood and slash willow crossbows. What, like, to use as a weapon for the captain of the guard? My preferred weapon for the captain of the guard is just no weapon, generally, and just make sure it's a dwarf that's not super strong, and don't let them train. And then they just don't kill anybody. That's my favorite way to run a captain of the guard, is just don't give them a weapon. Seems like the most logical way to do things. At least to me. Somebody help out Taurus with this ads problem. It's cooler to have an adamantine warhammer? Sure. The big problem that I have is, like, when you allow them to equip weapons, even if you give them the adamantine warhammer, if you happen to end up with a weapon that's more valuable, which happens actually quite a bit in this version, they'll just drop the adamantine warhammer. So when I was trying to make the captain of the guard use the adamantine warhammer, what I found kept happening was, instead of using the adamantine warhammer, they kept canceling the adamantine warhammer and instead just picking up better materials, like they kept swapping to silver ones. So I would rather them just have no weapon. Yeah, but if they're super weak, then punches aren't deadly in the slightest. They're only deadly if they're strong. So I just make sure that they're not strong. Let's change these so less shops use them. Did my frame rate just tank? Yep, it did. Demons are doing something. So I don't know. For at least in my fiddling, it's like safer to just let them, like, go around it essentially and just punch things. But I don't know. I don't know how accurate my testing is. It's just my experience. These dwarves have so much shit to do. Assuming you're going to go store ballista arrows in the siege ammo stockpile. They've never been changed, so yeah. Well, they're based on material weight and material sharpness. Blunt damage are based on weight, and pokey and stabby weapons are based on weight and sharpness. What happened? Okay, chat, help out Insulina. You were here for most of the cacophonies. So not much has happened in the last 2 days, because we've just been burying bodies. But, you know, necromancers, and then we released the circus. Or hell, or the underworld, or whatever you want to call it. So now we're slowly building up the ability to fight back. But yes, fun. Fun is the short version. Divildon, thank you very much for gifting Taurus a sub. Welcome back, Taurus. Enjoy the ad-free viewing for the next 30 days. Appreciate you, dude. The pop count lost 2, and look, it just gained them back. Magical. Or it will gain them back, because 2 of them are were creatures. I too hate the ads, but showing ads is the only real thing that I can actually do. It's like I could either just not show ads, or I could show ads, so I show ads, because if I don't show ads, then I don't get recommended by Twitch. And raids get eaten by pre-rolls, which is worse. Although we don't get many raids, so I don't know. I started running ads back in December because I was getting so many raids that it was actually worth it for a brief period. You would be super sad? This fort's been getting beaten up since it started, so. I have built a little tunnel, so if, and I actually need to finish it, but I've been building little tunnels so that if migrants show up in the right spot, I can probably save a few of them. But I need them to show up in the right spot. Yeah, that is true, Salty. But as soon as the full moon ends, we will get 2 dwarves back. But no, I want to try and play this for until either, one, we kind of unanimously decide that it's too boring to keep going. What are these? Humans, I assume? Size for humans. Do you have any markings on your armor? Nope. Well, this ain't gonna last too long. So humans are besieging the fort. And it appears that the Brute of Fire, who has 11 kills, mostly on ravens and wombats, comes flying down to pad out his kill count a little bit, and another one shows up, which immediately vanished. This one is Itchgland, who's killed a single human just now. Are you going to go get a name now? Yep, now you have a name. You are now L Buzzards. Eel Buzzards. I'm going to call you L Buzzards because that's just funny. His left lower arm is gone. Oh, boy. Got hit by something. Killed plenty ravens and a skunk. I'm surprised the siege isn't broken yet, actually. I guess they're just killing them as they come in. Poor little skunk. Yeah, I never even knew it hit him. Now they're chasing the raven. These things can fly too, because the Brutes of Fire. Well, there goes the siege. And we might get traders in a moment. I love that there's just like a reptile woman skeleton here. These are all zombies too. This area just keeps getting better. The wombats deserve a few kills as a treat. Did we reach the goal? No. Not even close. The Necromancer sieges just got to be too much. I didn't, like, defeat the caverns, and I didn't successfully build my burn towers, so... No, we did not. A 10 out of 10 fun surface? Yep. Certainly getting there. At least we have clowns, I suppose. How come you're not working? Bizarre. It's like, you dig all the way down to there. Yeah, it's like they can totally get to it. Why have you not carved that yet? Weird. In past games, cave-in strips, sealing them off and trapping them, lava and obsidian. Drawbridges used to be more effective, and they used to not be trap avoid. So in the past traps, there was a fort that I had where I had about 60 legendary swords dwarves with full adamantine gear. They did it. Drawbridge airlocks are significantly less effective now because if they are standing on the drawbridge, then the drawbridge doesn't activate. But yeah, we used to use stuff like that, all sorts of things. Like there was various different strats that would work. But currently, I mean, I intended the whole fort to die when I broke into hell, but, you know, I'm going to try my best to keep it alive, and was able to keep it alive somehow. Doors are just indestructible by most, and I haven't actually, okay, I can't say that for certain. I don't know if doors are indestructible to all demons, but doors are just fucking busted in the current game, so I'm not sure. I mean, the happiness ratio is fixing itself, and 2 of the super pissed off ones are actually were creatures, so. I might just end up retiring this fort at a point. You kind of love this fort. I also kind of love this fort. There's a lot of fun little tales here, you know. The initial fort that was taken over by the cavern creatures and the undead. The second time we had to, and then we reclaimed it, and then it was like a struggle in the deeper caverns, and then we just got overrun on the surface. Like it's been a fun fort. But I don't know. Maybe we should just retire this fort. If not today, then early next week. Does the creatures respect locked doors? Respect? Well, they're not supposed to. They're supposed... So all Forgotten Beasts and demons are supposed to be building topplers, but in this version, for some reason, no Forgotten Beasts are building topplers, and no demons are building topplers. But they're supposed to be able to just take a locked door and go bonk and knock it over and walk through it, unless it's an artifact. But for some reason, in this version of the game, they don't do that, and I couldn't tell you why. I have no idea. Like, genuinely, I have no idea. So, do they respect them? Yeah, they're not supposed to. Maybe they're pro-private property. Well, dwarves are communists, so the dwarves don't like this. Go make your meme, memester. Oh. Urvad, the ghostly dwarven child, sucks the wind out of Calcium Crypt. That's interesting. Imagine just getting the wind literally sucked out of you by a ghost. That seems unpleasant. Bam's on it. Dwarves have no currency and no sense of, and no property and no ownership of anything. And they work in a strictly communist society, so yes, in your video game. The Forgotten Beast, Stoshib, has come, a towering one-eyed petrosaur. It has a knobby trunk, and it squirms and fidgets. Its pumpkin scales are large and set far apart. Beware its noxious secretions. Oh, well, it's right next to Stospub, which is a towering... Okay, well, okay, so Stospub is right next to Levisa, who is a towering eyeless shrimp. So it's shrimp versus petrosaur. The shrimp has webs, the petrosaur doesn't, and the shrimp is dead. The petrosaur is bleeding. If I take a real quick glance at the combat log, it does appear that the fight kind of went something like, Forgotten Beast bites the Forgotten Beast in the upper leg, tearing the muscle. Forgotten Beast kicks the Forgotten Beast in the head with the left foot, and the injured part collapses. Dino win, although is bleeding. Bleeding? Okay, no longer bleeding. Means it should be fine. It can fly. Uh-oh. And it's on the cavern layer where it can kill me. Friendship? More like friend shrimp. I don't think this shrimp is a friend. It is flying towards my fort currently, too. It's only a matter of time. Okay, well, it's coming in. I'm gonna station the military here. I only have 3 soldiers with any kind of training, so... It is seriously injured. How badly? Its upper body is cut open. Its upper body is dented. I lost it again. I was scrolling. There it is. I don't know what the syndrome it has is, if it has one. If it has, like, paralyzing gas, we're all dead. Or is it dust or gas? Noxious secretions. Yeah, if it has, like, paralyzing gas, we're all done. Sort of looks like it's shooting. Yeah, it kind of looks like it's got like a jet engine underneath it, doesn't it? Or a jetpack. It's like clouds of steam coming out of it. There is a fly in my room. It just buzzed past behind my head. Oh, speaking of flies. So the worst thing on Earth happened to me last night. Sorry, this is completely off topic. I was trying to fall asleep, right? And then suddenly I hear a mosquito at like maybe 1 or 2 in the morning. And the sound of it wakes me up. And I'm like, that mosquito is really close to my head. And I couldn't figure out why. And then I realized it was stuck in my hair. I had a mosquito stuck in my hair. And then I smacked the side of my head when I realized where it was. And then it exploded. And my hand was covered in my own blood. I hate mosquitoes. I literally got up and washed my hair at 2 o'clock in the morning last night. I assume it was my blood. I don't know who else's blood it could have been. I overkilled it in video game terms. It's gonna fly into the fort. It's like, oh, there it is. It's in the fort now. This is technically the fort. I'm gonna send the military up here. Okay, here it comes. It's flying down and into the fort. It's heavily bleeding. Red Nass is on top of it, fighting with the thing. Did Red Nass just kill it? I think Red Nass just killed it. Okay, so right at the bottom here. That was relatively clean. The Spearmaster stabs the Forgotten Beast in the left foot with his adamantine spear, chipping the bone. The Sacred Urn punches the Forgotten Beast in the second toe with his left foot, with his left hand, bruising the bone, because I'm pretty sure it's dead. Where is it? There it is. Yeah, it's dead. The Spearmaster stabs the Forgotten Beast in the upper body with his adamantine spear, tearing the muscle. The Sacred Urn then bites the Forgotten Beast in the head, tearing the fat and bruising the muscle, and the Spearmaster stabs the Forgotten Beast in the head with an adamantine spear, tearing the muscles, chipping the skull, and tearing the brain. Tear that brain. That brainy, brainy brain. I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to throw a butcher shop right there, just in case it's not currently being done. Nope, nothing's being done with it, but I would like to cut it. I was hungry for battle? Damn right, I'm hungry for lunch. Shoutouts to Red Nass for saving our dwarves. I think it was Red. Actually, it might not have been Red Nass. It might have been Slow Death. Yeah, it was Slow Death who got it. Never feels hatred towards anyone or anything and dreams of falling in love. You poor dwarf. How long does it take for a brain to heal? Is that a rhetorical question? Depends on if you have a spare one. You're thinking in Dwarf Fortress logic. If your brain gets torn in Dwarf Fort, I'm pretty sure you're just dead, no? I don't think, like, you can't... Unless you're undead. Because, although I did once have a dwarf whose heart was mangled beyond recognition, which was pretty funny. Did you not know that, Diamond? I'm assuming... Okay, you're gonna go drink. I think my current brain is mangled beyond recognition, to be honest with you. Okay, so Red Nass is grabbing some blocks to hopefully butcher this creature. So we have 20 meat right now. How much meat do you guys think this thing's gonna have? Place your bets, lads. Near the stairs? Where's the fun in that? Because that would take this fort from being an interesting fort with very low population to just being boring. That's why. Oh, maybe it's not butcherable. Yep, it's not butcherable for one reason or another. Well, that's a shame. I figured it would be, but apparently it's not. Nope. Not yet, Finian. That's why the population is still at 20. Also, hey, Gold Poke. You thought Burnvault was dead? Not yet. I got 20 dwarves. It's like a limping corpse at this point, but... Or a slouching corpse? Slumbering corpse? Slouching dead? Something like that. But no, not dead yet. It's currently doing its best Black Knight impression. I'm not dead yet! Yeah, I missed the Sunday stream this week because I was, too depressed to get out of bed. So instead, we stream on a Friday. Lumbering? Sure, that's a word. Tis just a flesh wound. Tis something. Speaking of Friday stream, chat, how do you guys feel about a little bit about doing a run or two at Jupiter Hell? That game is 60% off and got a patch yesterday. And it is a game I like. I'm sure some of you have never even seen that game before, but it is currently for sale in a bundle with Dwarf Fortress. That's how you know it's a quality product. All right, chat. So I think that this fort is coming along pretty well, or as well as it could be. The local wildlife just keeps repeatedly getting obliterated. Everything's on fire. It's quite literally hell on the surface. I think we will stream this again on Tuesday, I think. And if I can't fix the fort, we'll just let hell in and kill it. So I think that's kind of the plan for this fort, is we will see oh, hold up. Where'd they show up? Oh, god damn it. Why are they up here? Tisk. Let me see if I can let you in. Let me just try. The halibut is fighting. Let's see. What do you think, Chad? Do you think any of these migrants are going to make it? Any of them? No? Well, the diagnoser has been found dead. I'm just staring at this because if a demon comes running for it, then I gotta lock him in. Game's paused. They're in conflict. We'll see. Is Legends mode available? Not in Fortress mode. It's never been available within Fortress mode. But if I retire the fort, yeah. But I would have to retire the fort to be able to do it. And she's fighting with a rattlesnake. Pause the game. See where the... So because they're just in, air quotes, active conflict, I really can't save them. There is nothing to play in Legends. In Legends, you read the history of the world. So there's such different ways of messing around with the game. They're not really comparable. It's like asking somebody, would you prefer to, like, read a description of the game or play the game? I like to play the game, naturally. But yeah, no, the migrants show up here sometimes, and I need them to show up here. Could just allow them to teleport into the fort, but man. Oh, I see why it's not working. Because I forgot to unlock the other door. Look at me killing these dwarves on accident. Well, this one's on fire. This one's trying. We'll simply wait. They're still trying. I need to make more of these trapdoors, but I need to do it safely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's still 2 on the map that are alive. That's a horseshoe crab. I was like, something just moved. Maybe it's friendly. Nope. It's just a horseshoe crab. Watch this horseshoe crab die in the doorway into my fort and kill us all. Yeah, adventure mode is the one where you control one character. It could be a dwarf, human, goblin, or whatever. Whatever the world has access to. YouTube is the link that you're looking for. Exclamation point YouTube. I got rid of the YT command because it was too confusing for people and nobody used it. Shitty meme done. I like shitty meme. Oh, that's pretty shitty. Open up! I'm locked. Understandable. Have a great day. Yep. V much. My old ISP calls me more often than my ex. I just received a phone call from my old ISP which I just hung up on by default because they're calling me to be like, hey, you thought about returning? No, your speed sucks. Also, we have an artifact that's been started. So I'm just going to give up on the dwarves on the surface. Sorry, guys. Oh. And it's one of the were creatures. Well, that's a problem for future me. Chat room, I think it's time to save this fortress and go play some Jupiter Hell. Burnvault lives? Yeah. It does, in fact. How you doing, Celestars? So if you guys want to say goodbye to YouTube, you can do that now. We're going to go play a run or two of Jupiter Hell. Wait, what will I think about if they send flowers and chocolate? No, you know, true story. No one's ever actually. Oh wait, my old ISP. No one's ever actually sent me flowers before. So if my old ISP actually sent me flowers, I would be very impressed. I don't know why. This fort started crashing when I save and exit. Hopefully it reloads tomorrow. Anyway, let's play some Jupas. For those of you who've never seen Jupiter Hell, it's a traditional roguelike where you use shotguns and shoot demons.